shoot over that link whenever you have it so I can tweet it.
Okay. Well, how do, loved ones? It is Clawbah Eyes. I have been looking so forward to doing this stream. Today we are going through the God, was she Quinn or? Oh no, she was Corey. I'm sorry. This was the Corey, the infamous Corey stream on YouTube Disassociative channel, and I got with me my guy Wes Moast. What's up, Wes?
Good. Thanks for doing this. Hey, everyone.
Oh man, trust me, I've wanted to do this for a long time. I also got Tiffany Lockheart. Tiffany Lockhart. Who are you, hon? Who are you, Tiffany Lockhart?
Who am I? I'm happy to be here.
I'm
just a happy girl, happy to be here. With
you are, yeah.
I pretty weak answer.
I appreciate you coming for this, Tiff, because you will finally get the answer to the age-old question: who are you, hon?
Right. Yeah, you have to ask it as aggressively as possible.
But there is Tiffany Lockhart has prepared a song to sing at that point.
I'm never singing again.
Clawbah has the music queued up, so this is going to be good.
I do. So be ready for your big number. Be ready for your big number, Tiffany.
Right. Okay.
It's going to be a whole song and dance when you get that question. In fact, in the description of this video, I called this the "Who Are You, Tiffany Lockheart" video.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's all you need to know it as.
So this stream took place how long after the human trafficking charge? Well, wasn't even a charge. You were questioned for human trafficking. How long after that was this stream?
So this was probably almost, it was 1 month exactly, or a little. It was like 28 days after I had been accused of human trafficking. By this point, she had moved. I hadn't seen her or spoken with her at all since the incident in the Walmart parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And this stream was, I believe, 5 days after she had filed a temporary order of protection against me, claiming that she was terrified, claiming that my videos were a hate crime.
Right, yes.
And that they were inciting a hate mob.
She hated them.
What's that?
Well, she hated them.
She did hate them. But from what I understand from everyone I talked to, she sure watched them a lot. So she's probably here now.
Clearly.
So we should all take time to say, welcome Muse or Corey or Quinn or
what's the 4-year-old's name?
Lil Shasta. No, I don't remember the 4-year-old's name. Oh, Lil Tay. Lil Tay.
Oh, Lil Tay. Welcome.
She's the youngest flexer of all time.
So yeah, this was had the order of protection been filed by this time?
Yeah, like I just said a few minutes ago.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
The order of protection had been filed like 5 days before this live stream. So she filed it saying she was terrified and I was inciting a hate mob and everything else. But the domestic violence was the actual thing she was trying to charge me with, because she said I was misgendering her and making fun of her disabilities or lack thereof. So those were the hate crimes that she was trying to charge. It would have all fallen apart in court. Of course, she didn't end up showing up to court.
Right.
But this live stream would have been a big part of our actual case, because she contradicts herself. She lies. Again, she filed a no contact order as part of that temporary order of protection. And then she's on a stream for 2 hours talking about me. So
yeah,
the whole thing was pretty unhinged from the beginning, but hilarious.
I'm a victim.
Aw, thanks, Tweak. Donated $1.
Thanks, Tweak.
I hope we get a Jeff Stacy Friday episode.
Oh, you can count on that, Tweak. You can count on that. God bless you, Tweak. I already did Jeff Stacy's the Jeff Stacy stuff once, but I'll be glad to do that again. All right, so just to set so people know that I believe this stream started out with Corey, and then we had some. I think at some point Quinn came into it, and Seth might have made an appearance at some point.
Did Mason ever show up? Because that's
you would have known if Mason was there.
I gotcha.
I don't know if Mason showed up at the end.
Oh,
it's funny how they all sound exactly alike though, and each just acts like a different level of spoiled bratty bitch. But I think Mason might have made an appearance at the end to hit the off button or
maybe because it does end very abruptly.
It did. It did.
And
I was a little sad. I mean, I was happy to see it end because it's really funny. Like it is funny when I look at it, but then still sad because this is about me. So I was happy and sad to see it end. But she's provided so much content that how could I really be angry with her?
Yeah. And again, we are not goofing on people with DID. This is not what's going on here. We're goofing on somebody who is clearly faking having DID. So anytime we talk about Corey and Quinn and all that shit, it's not a shot against people who legitimately have that.
Not at all. And I always try and make that clear, even in my videos, that this is not an indictment on any community that she claims to be a part of. It's an indictment on her.
Right.
And the grifting. And you'll see with my final edition of the Muse chapters that it's so much bigger than anyone thought. And the craziest stories have yet to come. A lot of questions that people are asking about which of these sicknesses are real, about animal abuse. Those things are answered definitively. Mm-hmm. And in the words of testimony from people who have lived with her, and these aren't people like me who were virtual strangers, but these were people who spent, in some cases, years. Oh. And two of these people were with her for years, and one was with her for 4 months, which probably felt like 3 years, because I know the 2 weeks that she was here felt like it literally felt like 6 months.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, can you imagine like having to deal with this? Because like you had it for 2 weeks, and that must have been like the single like worst 2 weeks of your life.
No.
Well, okay, like it was a bad. It was a horrible 2 weeks.
It was a horrible. Yeah, and I was counting down the days until the end of April when she was supposed to be leaving. And so when she left a few days after I gave her those house rules, because she'll be damned if you're going to tell her how to live in your home for free. Yeah. There was a celebration in my house. And so when I heard the stories of these other people, who did spend years with her, not just a few weeks, not just a few months, who had involved real emotional feelings into this person, where they live on the streets together, or they were in a relationship for several years. It really drives the point home that it doesn't matter who you are to her. It doesn't matter if you're a stranger off the internet or if you're someone that she has known for most of her life. She will just use you for whatever she can get out of you. And if she feels slighted in any way, she will shit all over you.
Yeah.
Or shit all over your floor.
Shit all over your floor, which is the bombshell that you dropped on the stream with Brittany Simon.
Bombshell dropped on the stream. That was a good one.
Yeah, see? I'm a professional.
I like that. So yeah, that's what's coming up in my final chapter. I mean, it's 9 hours of interviews that I have to edit and go through, so it might get split up into 2 parts, because I don't want to gloss over anyone's story. And I mean, I still have the full story to tell from the farm she was living at before she moved to Georgia, where I kind of glossed over it in the video on Chris Hansen's channel, but there was a lot that went on there that I also don't want to leave out. So there's a lot to come, and I promise you it is the craziest portion of the story. It makes the human trafficking thing seem like just a bump in the road, and who knows what comes next for her, but without actual help, it's not going to be good for her.
Right. Yeah,
or the people around her,
especially the people around her,
the vulnerable, young, impressionable people around her.
Yeah, I honestly, dude, I could not even imagine, like, and I'm sure the people who lived with her, like, all felt the same way, as like being uncomfortable in your own house.
Yeah, everyone says basically the same thing, that it's a darkness. It's and she one part I will say, she even admitted to, like, in her mind, a dark force that follows her that goes by the name of Dirt, that needed to be expelled from one of the homes that she was living at. So a seance was attempted, and I'm not making any of this stuff
Oh,
up.
really?
A seance was attempted, and you couldn't get rid of Dirt because she is Dirt.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And so she leaves. Once she leaves, that dark aura, it just like it leaves your home, and it's like on one of those movies where they do an exorcist and the house supposedly smells like roses.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like that, because the dirty dog smell and like the smell of the room that just it kind of smells like a hamster cage. It starts to dissipate. So it wasn't roses, but it was, whatever the house smelled like before. It smelled like that dirty hamster,
like a clean house.
Yes, like a clean home versus the dirty, dark, not wanting to leave your room, pretending you're asleep for 9 hours so that you don't get bothered. Those types of things that other people have described, and everyone has the same story, which is the craziest part.
Yeah, it's I'm surprised that like some of the people actually had her come back, because that happened, right? She would leave somewhere and then she would come back.
Well, it happened once, and this was one of those things where it was a family who they felt bad for her when she moved to LA the first time. It was after the first human trafficking claim. So she needed to, she was in a panic, I'm sure, and her life was in a crisis, because those are her two favorite words. And so she goes to LA for about 2 months. And even at that time, it was supposed to be open-ended, but you can only deal with her for so long. And so she ended up leaving after a few months. And I think what ends up happening is, because I felt the same way when I told her that I wanted her to be gone by the end of April, I ended up feeling bad.
Yeah.
Like, is it me and I'm just being ridiculous and impossible? Do I have these crazy expectations of people? And you start second guessing and questioning yourself. So when she needed help from this family a few years later, and this time she was saying it wasn't trafficking, it was because of domestic violence. And she had this move out sale, and she was terrified and had what she claimed to be a 5-year restraining order, which really was a standard 1 year that expires 2 months from like yesterday. They opened their home up to her again, and it only lasted a few days before they told her, you need to start looking for a place to live, because this isn't going to work.
Yeah.
They had very clear rules. The mom's asthmatic. You can't smoke in the house. She's smoking in the house because, again, you're not going to tell her how she needs to live in your house for free.
Yeah, right.
That's not fair to her.
No, she's
so
a
they told
she's
her
a victim.
Needed to leave, and she wanted them to reimburse her for the move out there, like she was doing them a favor.
God. All right. Well, that video should the first of the series should drop in the next couple of weeks or so.
I have no idea.
Okay, so stay tuned to Wes's channel. I'm sure anybody who's watching this stream is subscribed to Wes. So make sure you hit those notifications, and there'll be a series of videos coming up. But for now, we have the Muse stream, and if you guys want to watch this in its entirety, it's on Josh Who TV. I will put a link in the description after this processes. I also want to throw a shout out to Allie the Alien, who has a merch store, and she's actually making merch for cystic fibrosis, where she's giving the proceeds to charity for that. So I'm going to put a link in the description for that as well. And really cool.
Allie.
Yeah, really cool, really nice stuff. So yeah, make sure you check out Allie the Alien's store. But we got Muse the Alien now. So you guys ready?
I'm ready. Tiffany Lockheart, you ready?
Yes.
How's
your bullshit meter, Tiffany?
It's reached its max.
Oh shit! Well, then you better recalibrate it, because you're about to get a lot more.
Yeah.
And anytime you guys want to say something or just let me know, and I'll pause the video in typical Clawbah fashion.
All right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, where I'll interrupt it every 5 seconds.
So, angle up. Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
I'm grumpy. I'm really cranky, to be honest.
So this is
My bullshit meter, what I was able to tolerate, it's gone. I'm going to wait for people to come in, though, and I'm going to reiterate the fact that my bullshit meter has hit its max. So.
Yeah, there were like 1 or 2 people in the chat at this point.
Yeah, right. And again, well, she'll mention it in a second, but she was basically inviting the trolls to this. But like, she tweeted at Onision, like what? Like she didn't want the troll. She wanted the trolls on Twitter and not YouTube. Is that where?
So no, that was actually an earlier stream. That was her birthday stream 2.5 weeks before this.
No, I know, but like she. Okay, so she wanted trolls then and not
she wanted
now.
Trolls then. At this point, though, she had decided my videos were domestic violence,
right,
and causing trolls to go after her.
Oh, okay.
So she no longer wanted the trolls.
Well, I can't think of a better thing to do to hide from trolls than to live stream on YouTube.
Well, yeah,
it's probably the safest place to be.
What had happened was she had released a video just minutes before this because of a Kiwi Farms posting about her. So that's why she released a video threatening me, saying that she had something coming for me, which of course was the order of protection I received a few days later. And so then she went live, even though no one asked her to. She went live, and this is what happened. So,
right. So to be clear, this is from a few weeks ago. So as far as we know, she doesn't have a new YouTube channel. No. She's not on TikTok anymore, I don't think. But you know, it's just a matter of time.
I don't even think I'm going to have anyone to mod, but that's okay.
Yeah, there's 2 people in there. Who are you going to have to mod?
I can mod for myself. Hello, Lillian. It was so lovely to see you in there. Don't like any of these angles. My God. How did Muse do this?
So, just so we know, if we're clear, Muse is dead at this point.
Yes, Muse is no more because of the treatment received after my series of videos.
That's okay.
Yeah, right. So,
hello.
I mean, I'm surprised I didn't get accused of murder at this point.
Yeah, you might have killed Muse.
I mean, that's probably next. I'm going to get charged with murdering her false identity.
Well, maybe Vincent and Franny can look into that.
Oh, I sure hope not, because I'm already tied up with that Gilgo Beach stuff. I can't handle another fake charge.
Another case.
Well, I'm going to be blurry for a moment as I situate my fucking life. Oh, fucking shit. We got 12 people in here. How many of you are just going to fucking troll, huh?
All of them. You guys, let me know in the chat if you can hear Corey Quinn. Okay.
How many of you are part of a hate mob that doesn't know the fucking truth?
The hate mob.
Hi, Cody. Yeah, you just barely missed the premiere. I did throw it in Discord because I wanted to try and give you the chance to catch it, but I'm in a good place. Don't get me wrong. I'm actually doing very well. I'm just very cranky. So
that sounds like the
I
opposite
said at the
of
beginning
very well.
of the stream, for those of you who are just joining now, my bullshit meter has hit the fucking max. So being an emotional protector, I had decided that it was the right choice to shut everything down. I was part of the one who had made the issue or made the points of saying that we only wanted to post the birthday stream, and then we were going to, hey, wow, guess who doesn't fucking care? And
it already started.
Already someone hit her with the I'm a victim.
Yeah.
It was 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it took that long.
Yeah, me too.
I'm waiting for how long until Don't Forget the Cash App shows up. Now, I just want to point out 2 things. You're going to see the backpack she's wearing. Mm-hmm. That is the feeding tube.
Right. She actually opens it up, and
which I would only see if we were going out in public or if she was going to be doing a live stream. The feeding tube would be on. Another thing that my lawyer pointed out, she lifts her arms up a lot and keeps them up to show the hair under her arms.
Yeah. And
we believe that might have been for her claim of misgendering, because she was saying by me calling her when she says she's asexual, that maybe she thought growing the arm hair out would prove just how domestically violent I was being with the misgendering. So pretty calculated. You'll see she keeps her arms up a lot to show off the hair on her arms.
You know what I did? I noticed that. She does lift her arms a lot in this.
I don't think, maybe she didn't know at that point that it was going to be 100% phone hearings, and she thought she could show up and pour her pitiful routine and the judge would take pity on her. But
right. Well, we talked about that in our stream, is like she didn't have the opportunity to go in there, with a respirator and a wheelchair, and it wasn't even on Zoom. It was just a regular phone. So I
think she would have been in an iron lung, like an old World War
right.
iron lung, and she's tapping out in Morse code SOS.
On a gurney.
That's it. Go ahead. Sorry.
Look, you're gonna be banned. Hot take, bro. Hot take.
So she, and again, maybe it was, I don't know if it was Corey or Quinn or Seth, but at one point she bans everybody, and then at another point she says, "I'm not going to ban anybody."
Well, she's going to say that in a few minutes here. She's going to say that she's not going to ban anyone.
That might have been Quinn.
Because she wants everyone to speak, and then she's going to continue banning people.
Right.
Just the first 2 minutes, I use so much of that already in some of my videos because there's just so much gold there.
Yeah. No, this is honestly, I was talking to Wes and Tiffany about this. I put this right up there with the Jim Roush phone call as far as just entertainment value for me.
I should probably have shut my window because I'm yelling obnoxiously. But it's hot in here.
And fuck the people the other people in the house.
Yeah, we're not going to be doing that. If you are coming here to do that, you could fuck right off. Because I'm not going to be silenced by people that don't know the full story. And when somebody has gone on a rampage that made them look like an idiot, to be honest. Like, you guys don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but it's not working. It's not working. It's not working in his favor. Okay, so
and I assume the in his favor. I'm assuming that she's talking about you.
Yeah, so she's saying what I'm doing with making the videos and her getting exposed and everything is making me look like an idiot. But it's almost like she's projecting throughout this entire thing. Everything she says sounds like a warning that she should have given herself.
Yeah.
Before she decided that she was going to try and charge me with human trafficking. Because that's when all her shit fell apart. This was a puzzle in many different boxes until I made that first video, and then people started contacting me, and it's all come together. I mean, it's come together to the point where I have her own written journals that were sent to me.
Yeah.
So, and so when you're writing these things about your own health in these time periods where you're claiming you were diagnosed with these things, that doesn't stack up, and it's your own receipt. But we will get into that at a later time.
Okay. You know what's nice? Much like a lot of the Predators that I do, you could pretty much pause this and get just a great thumbnail.
Oh yeah, that's a great one right there.
Yeah, right.
Just keep that in mind. Like, you're not being told the whole truth, and additionally, not really what I wanted to talk about. So
like, what was the point of the stream then?
Nothing.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
I thought this. I mean, I had no idea. I have no idea what the point of the stream was. I thought it was to get her side out there, and strangely enough, we have not heard her side of the. We haven't heard the whole story.
The whole stream was to show that she was claiming she had a valid order of protection. At this point, she had a temporary order of protection that was filed without my. You could just go and get an emergency one because she said she was a victim of domestic violence. Mm-hmm. And she wanted a no contact order against me.
Yeah.
So she got those things. And so the point of this stream was to show people I don't need receipts. And she says it. I don't need receipts. I have an order of protection.
Right. Yeah.
And in her mind, that validated everything that she had said about me. And she also wanted to let people know this was no longer about trafficking, and it was now about domestic violence.
Right. And as Shin pointed out in our streams together, it doesn't take much to get one of those temporary orders of protection.
They're going to grant it because they're going to tell you, no, you're not. No, you're not. You're fine. Go home.
Right.
And then something happens to them and you're suing everyone that you could, that you possibly can. So yeah, they granted it to her because she said she was a victim, which is not something that she'd said many times before. Mm-hmm. She said she was terrified and in a crisis, and then a court date was set.
Yeah.
And we all know how that ended.
Yeah. Well, and if it ended in her favor, she'd be streaming right now.
Oh yeah. If it would have ended in her favor, if that first court case wouldn't have gone how it went and the judge would have had any kind of sympathy for her garbage, she would have showed up the second time And if it would have been granted, she would say, "See, I told you, this proves everything. I got an order of protection."
Yeah.
Frequently we're going to be back on YouTube. I've been doing a lot of work in terms of working on the system, on working on how we perceptualize and internalize the things that are said about us. Bullshit meter has hit the max.
There's that bullshit meter again.
I was kind of hoping that somebody would have been available to either mod or to guest onto here. However, that is not the case. So mostly just coming on to say that I am not going to be silenced anymore. I'm really, really tired of the amount of people that have blatantly fucked us over.
Which is nobody.
She fucked herself. That's what I'm saying. It's all internal. The only people who fucked her over were the many people she claims live in her head.
Yeah, Muse fucked over Corey.
No one else did. And the people who are speaking out against her, who have no channels, who want to remain anonymous, who aren't looking for clout, as she tries to put it, what did they have to gain from it? Nothing. They wanted to tell their story.
No, nothing at all.
You don't understand that even though you think that we don't have eyes anymore, we're still seeing what's happening. There's people that are saying that we have personally hurt them by sharing our truth about our disability. And that's not going to fly. You can take that enough. However you want to take that, and that's perfectly fine. I'm speaking to a few people directly right now. I am not responsible for how you feel about my experience. I am responsible for my emotions and how I respond to your stuff, but that's about it. I know my truth. I've gone to doctors. People are spreading lies about me. Not going to do it anymore.
And there is not if I remember correctly, there is not one example of a lie being spread about her.
No. I haven't. I've yet to hear one lie be spread about her. Anything that I've said about her is backed up with receipts.
Yeah.
And like I said, now I even have it in her own writing. So I don't know. There are no lies being spread about her.
Tiffany, is the bullshit meter okay?
Oh no, it's broken at this point.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's definitely broken at this point. All the lies that are being told are by her or them or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Now that I have what I need to make myself feel safe and to not feel.
And Tiffany, she clearly knew who you were when she did the old, who are you, Tiffany Lockheart? She clearly watches Wes's videos and knows.
Oh yeah, that's been confirmed.
Yeah, so
I'm sure she does. She says that she has eyes, and those eyes are her own.
Right.
Because she's still on Twitter, even though her account is locked or whatever. She's still there. She said in the emails when she was trying to drop the order of protection, but she wanted it dropped without prejudice. She said that she hadn't been able to check my social media in a few days to see if I was talking about her. So she's checking up on me regularly. The people she moved with after leaving my house. By the way, when she's talking in this video about taking accountability and her system and all that, just days before this, she was shitting on someone's floor. So I don't know how much accountability and things like that she's actually taking in her life. They're all just buzzwords. They're all these things that she knows she's supposed to say. And to a therapist, they might think, well, she sounds like she's healing or this and that. But she is a garbage person. And until she admits the things that she's actually done, she will remain this garbage person.
Yeah. She got 35 eyes watching you, Tiffany Lockheart, but they're all her.
And one of them's a pirate, so that's why there's only 35 eyes.
Right.
Like, I'm in danger because of the things that you guys have done. Not necessarily my subscribers. If you're from my community, that's different. But
which is nobody.
People I'm speaking to.
6 patrons.
Yeah, 6 patrons, and like again, she had like 1,100 subscribers or something at this point, but they were really RSN subscribers or deity subscribers or Brittany Simon.
They were people who would come in from her talks about trauma and about Brittany Simon and those other things. So when she would make a video, she would be lucky to crack 150, 200 views.
Right. Yeah.
Because no one cared about anything she said after the supposed trauma and dramatic experiences ended. So what better way to bring back views to your channel than by coming up with a new traumatic experience that you've dealt with?
Yeah. Works for me. That's what I do. That's why
That's all you do.
That's why I came back with my mac and cheese
The mac
video.
and cheese story.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much sadder than that.
No.
Have done have impacted us in a way that you don't understand. I just posted the video about kiwi farms because I think it's an important thing to address. I'm not the only one that's impacted by this. I've seen almost every single DID YouTuber be attacked within the course of about 2 months.
Not that, and I don't think that that's true either.
Well, no, and she was. Oh, were you going to say something, Tiffany?
No, I was just saying it can't be.
I know that when she came back on her birthday, she came back to Twitter on her birthday, and that's when she was tweeting at Onision and trying to get attention from anyone and everyone she could. She was tweeting at several people within the DID community and talking about some trauma or something that had happened within the DID community and how she too was getting attacked.
Yeah.
Because she was trying to get someone to rally for her and give her some sort of platform.
Right.
And that failed. But I guess something did happen within the DID community, because when people were reaching out to me after the first video came out, they were thanking me for making it a point to mention that this was not an indictment on DID because their community had been under attack. And now people were starting to question if it was even real or not. And I want to go on record saying I do believe DID is a very real thing. I've experienced with it in the past. She does not have DID.
Yeah, I agree, I totally agree with that.
Do you know how disturbing that type of behavior is? Blasphemy.
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 Is she a god now? Is one of the alts a god?
Were you asking to mod, or are you asking to be guested? Either or.
And she has at this point, there's probably maybe 15 people in the stream or so.
Yeah,
and two of them are on her side.
Then people started showing up, but a lot of the people that were there were not on her side.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was a pretty. She got a pretty good number, 15, 20 people, but like two of them were on Team Muse, and the other 18 were either trolling or like asking her real questions.
Yeah, some people, she was saying she had proof, so some people were asking, show the damn proof. You say you have this proof. I wanted to see what the proof was.
Yeah, I think Miss Lockhart asked that.
I did.
She did, and did not get a very nice response. So yeah, let's continue on. That's coming up.
Okay.
Other one. Okay, let's address this. So,
Lizzie's up to it again.
Yeah, Lizzie's a little bit more of a troll than somebody asking for the truth, but either way.
Can you read that out though?
Yeah, sure. Lizzie says, "Woohoo! I'm a victim. Oh, I'm a liar and an embarrassment too."
Pretty spot on.
Yeah. Lizzie's right on the hit the
and look
nail.
at the freeze. The freeze frame of that is gorgeous.
I'm telling you, man. She's like she's like Jim Roush almost. Like you could pause at any time and get a great thumbnail.
Yeah.
Brief portion of what's happened. Have you seen all the screenshots? Do you know that he used to work for Seeking Arrangements? Because I'm shooting.
Can I address that?
Yes, please do.
I fail to see where I worked as a director of marketing or any of the marketing for adult websites, what that have to do with her or domestic violence or trafficking or anything. And she's never able to substantiate that. She also put it in her order of protection that I used to work in dating for adult dating sites doing marketing, but never says how that ties to anything.
Yeah, and you've done marketing for all kinds of businesses, though.
I mean, I do. I still consult for a lot of different businesses. I'm in health and supplements now. I don't do anything with dating really anymore, other than some consulting now and then. But she tries to use it to say he's a bad guy. He used to work in this, but her own Twitter, the one that's still up, she's booty butt naked twerking, and like there's a lot of porn and nudity in her past.
Yeah, and she was on Chatterbait for a while, and
yeah, she was on Chatterbait until people thought, and I want to say it's been confirmed she did not kick her dog on Chatterbait. she did much, much worse to her dog off of Chatterbait, but she did kick a suitcase on Chatterbait. But the animal abuse allegations are real and confirmed.
Right.
My shots now. I'm shooting it. You want to say that none of this was valid? That none of this happened? I'm not doing this game anymore, you guys.
And
you want to play an exposed game?
She continues for 2 hours.
We'll play it. Big deal. You not realize that's the top escorting site?
And again, I don't have the actual chat. So
someone said big deal about me working with Seeking Arrangement, which is a sugar daddy dating website. Someone said big deal. And she's saying, well, did you not know that's the top escorting site? Which again, if that was true, how does that tie into anything involving her and a site that I worked at 7 years ago?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is a lot of the stuff that she's addressing is in the chat, but
the chat's not available.
Yeah, this stream has since been taken down off of YouTube, and it is on Joshu TV now. So you're only going to see the comments that she responds to that she puts up, like Lizzie's here.
Do you not realize how many women in sex work will trust the wrong people, and then they end up in situations like this? And then to have people in my communities tell me that I'm a liar, I'm not going to put up with it. This man was nothing before he got our story, which he construed it however the fuck he wanted to.
Yeah, you construed it a lot. But,
I did construe it.
So do you want to respond to that? You were nothing until you met Muse.
Yeah, I don't understand where she gets that, because if anyone built my fledgling career on YouTube, it was Vincent James Tiberius Nicotra.
Yeah, and Clawbah.
And Clawbah. I mean, seriously, I had no channel until like 9 months ago, and it was it was 140 subscribers on New Year's Eve, and it wasn't until the Have a Receipt video that Mr. Gigi gave me a shout out at the end of one of his videos that my channel kind of took off. Mm-hmm. So for her to say I was nothing without Vince, I think that's going to hurt Vince's feelings. And it did, because he made it a point to let me know that he is my Mona Lisa. He is my masterpiece.
He is.
I just don't like to see those two argue about who fucked me over.
I know. They both have such strong cases too.
Yeah, well, I mean, if anyone has fucked me over the most, it would be Tiffany. It would go Tiffany Lockheart, and then Muse has moved past Vince, which with the 2 times she tried getting me arrested.
Yeah,
and then Vince right below that.
Yeah, Tiffany.
Well, the thing is too, I'm going to ignore what he said about that. But wasn't the purpose of her going to your home to be close to where she needed to have a procedure done?
Yes, but so in my earlier videos, I didn't include any of the text messages from January when I was trying to get her to come out later, like March or April, and she was really pushing. She was saying that someone was trying to break into the home because of RSN, and she was also saying that she felt that she was septic and she needed to get back or she could possibly die. And I didn't include those things because it just wasn't relevant. I felt it wasn't relevant to the story. And so she probably forgot, because she's had people look through her text messages. So I'm sure she deleted a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
And you forget that the other person has those records.
Right.
So
Vince forgets that all the time.
Go ahead, Clawbah.
I was just going to say, Vince forgets that all the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because he sent some doctored screenshots to Drama and Opinions trying to make it look like I was just crazy. I just started screaming at him out of the blue on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And so she probably deleted a lot of things. So you forget what was really there. So when she's talking here, she just assumes that I don't have those text messages anymore that show her trying to guilt me. And I felt bad for her. I feel like this person's dying. Her roommate was abusive to her in her words. So everything just felt like it was stacked up against her. And that's how she got out here so early. And as I found out from my later interview with Kat, they had been having disputes because Kat was tired of it. Mm-hmm. Kat was tired of living with this selfish person and felt like she had made a huge mistake inviting her to come live with her. So things were getting tense there, and as is her pattern, she started working on her next move already.
Yeah, and as you said in one of your shows, in a way that actually kind of you kind of lucked out, because if she did come a little bit later, it would have been right at the start of the lockdown.
Yeah, she would have been housed, and I would have gone to. She would have came up with some reason for me to go to jail.
Yeah.
So I'm really, and that's why I'm so worried about where she is now. Which I've seen a lot of things. People think it's like a woman's shelter. No, she is in a place where she's around a lot of young, impressionable people, and all it takes is one of them to show some interest in her and then decide they're no longer interested. And I could see her calling the police and getting someone arrested and ruining their lives.
Yeah.
Contacted 12 people from our past. If that's not stuff...
And you didn't contact any of those people. Those people
I contacted no one.
Yeah. Those people all contacted you.
Yeah, I wouldn't. How would I know who to contact that she screwed over?
Yeah.
She told me Kat had no Twitter. She'll tell you things about people, but then say that they're nowhere available online. So that you, and because she used so many different names, how would I know to connect Corey to this guy who knew her as Quinn, or to this person who knew her as Seth? Like that's in my mind. That's why the different names and identities and things like that exist. It's so that you can cover your tracks. Because when you look up her real name, none of this stuff shows up.
Yeah.
Behavior, I don't know what is. Making a 4 to 5 part series video.
Soon to be 7 part.
That's obsessive. Meanwhile, let's look at the other side of the street. Yeah, let's look at the other side of the street. We posted a GoFundMe talking about how we were leaving sex work. No one questioned it. We've been.
What?
That GoFundMe was posted while she was at my house, and it was like she's the Brett Favre of retiring from sex work. It's just she's going to retire, she retires, and then she comes back. And I guess she had quit in Georgia because of RSN and RSN being mean to her. She quit at my house because of said RSN or people were being mean to her, so she was quitting, which terrified me because I wanted her to leave. So if she has no money, how is she going to leave my house? Which is why I added in the financial incentive so that she would have no excuse to not leave my home.
Has she ever done I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say she quit her job, quote unquote job that paid very little 2 days before I gave her the house rules.
Has she ever done a job like a non-sex worker job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has. And she told me in her own words that she doesn't like working, she gets tired of it, and she'll either quit or figure out a way to get fired.
Yeah.
She's one of those people who, the 9 to 5 thing just does not appeal to her. And it's not because she's sick. It's not because she's too sick to do it, but it's so much easier to panhandle and beg and make people feel bad for you to where you don't have to work. Then why would she want to put that much time and effort into an actual job and career?
Yeah. And you could be your own boss. You can set your own hours when you're, going on cam or when you're panhandling.
Exactly. You're making your own hours. You can quit whenever someone's mean to you. You're living under someone else's roof, not paying your own bills. So who cares, right?
Yeah.
You can order all the stuff on Amazon that you want and then not pay for any of the resources that you use at that home, which is also a very familiar pattern with everyone I've talked to.
Yeah. Everybody has the story of the empty Amazon boxes. And I think she even addresses that.
And you're telling them that you can't pay them rent or you can't help to pay for the massive amounts of food that you eat. But then you're just always getting, and not medical essential stuff, but yarn to do knitting or just different knickknacks. You're ordering stuff for the dog. That's very much just a prop.
Yeah, I saw that TikTok.
So.
Yeah. This line of work for 6 years. 6. Okay. She's 23 at this point, had just turned 23. If she was doing sex work for 6 years, that means she started when she was 16 or 17.
Oof.
So I don't.
Why
and she says it all the time. That's not the first or only time she said 6 years.
Yeah.
Only quit. Also, none of you have questioned the fact that we moved suddenly across the country and didn't really say anything about our living situation when we had been so open prior.
Can I say something?
Sure.
So she did move suddenly. And because, as the text messages show, she made it sound like she needed to get out here urgently. And I did not want her to say anything to anyone. I didn't want to make it a public thing. So that's why it was kept quiet. Mm-hmm. But again, because she forgets that these text messages exist, she's trying to make it sound nefarious. Like I rushed her out here overnight before she could come to her senses and realize that it was a bad situation. Like none of that's true.
Yeah, it was discussed like months in advance.
A month in advance.
A month in advance. I mean, it wasn't sudden. It wasn't like you got to get out here now because I need models.
Louis Berry, I will discuss the abuse in my video. I don't want to get into it on this stream.
Yeah.
Why would that be? I wonder why we didn't talk about who we were living with, even though they were also a content creator. What was to be hidden there? What was so bad that there was $500 to make sure a scene wasn't caused?
Well, I think we know the answer to that.
Yeah, when she tries to make it into hush money, like this $500 amount of hush money that I was giving her. I have experience with people who are insane in like my entire life. Just have grown up around people who are legitimately insane. And I did not want to give her any money until I had, one, she had her things back. And two, I was sure that she had done a change of address because in Washington State, she could show up here a month later and say, well, my address is here. And legally, I would have to let her into my home because she's a resident. So I wanted to make sure. So I was going to give her half that night, which I had told her in text. I would give her half that night and then half the next week because I wanted to verify the address change was done. And I ended up giving her none of it, obviously, because the police were there.
It's funny that it went from, the rent was $300 a month to free to $75 to I'm paying you to get the fuck out.
I'm paying you to leave. Yeah, just go.
Yeah.
Put the pieces together. You're making yourself look like a fool. I'm not playing this game.
Uh-oh.
I am protected now.
Quint.
I am safe now. No one knows where we are now.
Mason's about to come out.
And I'm done.
No one knew where she was prior to this. She says later in this video that she's moved 9 times. Mm-hmm. But yet she made it sound like when my video was coming out and she told the people that she was living with that they were at threat of being swatted. But no one knows or cares where she is. I know where she is now because I'm very concerned for the people around her. And that'll be handled in a different way. But but she's the way she always talks is like there was some crisis and she's in hiding and now she's safe and now she's protected. The temporary order of protection was all that she had, but no one knew where it's like impossible to find an actual homeless person.
Well, and this was her big thing against RSN. She kept saying that RSN was sending this hate mob after her because RSN doxed her. Like he didn't do anything but, to my knowledge, he didn't do anything but show that stupid Chatterbait video.
There was a Craigslist ad where she was
and a Craigslist ad, but it was the city.
The city, and it was a city that she had herself in some videos that she had deleted off of her channel. She was showing everyone where she was going on that train and on the bus and whatnot when she was moving because she needs to document everything. And I'm sure it was probably disabled girl and service dog move cross country.
Right.
She tries to include buzzwords so that they'll get picked up.
Yeah.
And she can, hopefully get a little bit of viral fame or whatever. But she was telling people exactly where she was going. And when he posted that Craigslist ad, she made it sound like he was giving directions to her home and flying people out there with his airline miles.
Right, and he was saying, "Oh, let's get her, boys." Yeah. When it was just, it was
never that.
It was focused on
showing her video
on the
and
Craigslist ad,
talking about animal abuse, which I will say, in that they were wrong about that video. There is no animal abuse going on in that video, but there was plenty of it at that home.
Yeah, he was wrong in that particular instant, but he wasn't wrong.
Serendipitous. They screwed up that one. There was no abuse on that one, but behind the scenes, so much worse than I'm not saying than just kicking a dog, but so much worse than kicking a dog.
Yeah, he got it right. He just didn't get it right in that particular video.
Yeah.
I will not be playing this game. I want to go back to creating the content that makes our system happy. Garbage. I want to go back to helping people. I want to go back to knowing that we don't have to be.
I do have a question. Who has she helped exactly?
Herself.
Oh, right. That's
That's it. She's only helped herself.
So when she says I want to go back to helping people, she means the other people, and she means like Mason and Seth
Mason and Crosby and all the other people.
Okay.
Afraid and walk on eggshells. And if that means just adapting a tougher skin, I'm going to do it.
That didn't happen.
If that means being more careful of what we share about our personal experience with trauma and with chronic illness, that's what we're going to do.
That didn't happen either.
Nope.
Oh, Mugnuts is here. Mugnuts is a star of this one.
If you wanna accuse me of things.
So Lizzie says you are a liar. No one should trust you.
I'm not going to block you. I'm going to address everything that you have to say directly.
And then block you.
Because I've been silent.
Yeah.
I'm not going to block you. I'm going to answer. I'm going to lecture you, and then I'm going to block you.
Well, the best is when Joey Teacup gets blocked twice in like 10 seconds.
Right.
Okay, Joey Teacup had to show up and ruin everything.
Yeah, who are you? Who are you, Joey Teacup? Who are you, Han?
Yeah, who are you, Joey Teacup? Posting 911 calls and
puppy punter.
Dramatic readings of the order of protection.
Because I haven't been able to use my voice. Because my First Amendment right was violated. Because I've been a victim of hate crimes and silenced.
Hate crimes.
Do you not realize that RCWs protect me? Because I've written down every single one that's been violated.
Sorry.
I had to do that.
Go ahead. The RCWs, those are the laws here in Washington that she's referring to, where she wrote down on the order of protection paperwork, like, well, it's a hate crime to things about disabled people and things about like attacking someone because of their sexuality, which is what she's claiming I'm doing in my videos. Mm-hmm. So she wrote all these things down thinking that okay, the judge is going to look at that and they're going to hear that I called her she, and they're going to hear that I questioned her medical state, and then they'll be like, yeah, that's absolutely hate crimes. But in order for a hate crime to be a hate crime, a crime has to happen.
Right. Yeah, that is a prerequisite. That's actually the second word.
Yeah, it is. The first part is hate.
Yeah, and that part is legit.
No crime was committed. So,
yeah.
I'm also curious how her First Amendment right was violated.
I'm curious about that too. And she's saying that she's claiming because of this hate mob, and she did include some tweets that were sent via DM from one user who told her, I know your full name, but I'm not going to dox you because I'm not garbage like you. Mm-hmm. You're a liar, and every time you get caught, you disappear. You need to, basically the person was saying you need to face who you are and admit to what you're doing wrong. But she tried to include that as saying, look, these people are telling me to kill myself.
Yeah, and
these people are threatening me, and they're a hate mob. So I have to silence myself. But no one tried to silence her. If she would have said early on, I messed up, big mistake, I fucked up, then everything would stop.
Yeah. And that was the same thing that you wanted with Vincent. It was
just admit it. Admit that you fucked up, you lied. Admit it, and then I move on and you move on. But when you continue this narrative where you're the victim, and now you're saying that these now 15 people that have reached out to me to tell their stories, they're all lying. These people who aren't connected in any way, who didn't know each other, they're all making up stories about this person who, in YouTube terms, is a nobody just because.
Yeah.
Just for fun.
Research. Me
and
Sam in our system.
What about us?
Okay. Sam. Well, Sam also helped.
Okay.
Witchy things, if you have questions, you can ask them. We're here to address things, but we are not going to sit here and be silenced anymore.
So Witchy things just says, dude, what the hell? I don't know.
All right, I need to go in and mod because we're hitting the actual point here in which we need it.
Yeah,
it's coming up in just a second here. The best part of the
here comes the part we've all been waiting for.
Here it comes.
Tiffany Lockheart, who are you, hun? Who are you?
Tiffany?
Not playing this game.
Yeah, Tiffany, I'd like to know.
Tiffany, you there?
Music, Tiffany.
I
It looks like she's like she's muted. Oh, she must be tuning up the pitch pipe.
Yes.
So she'll probably join us.
Yes.
In any second.
Tiffany, did you mute yourself? Who are you, Tiffany Lockheart?
She's muted.
You guys want to talk shit and not even think about.
This was your big moment, Tiffany Lock. This is the only reason we brought you on the stream is to answer who you are.
She misses it.
Yeah, come on, Tiff.
The information that has been presented to you. Looking for other people to mod real quick.
Why didn't she make Tiffany a mod?
I don't know. Or, yeah, right? Or Joey T.
Or Joey T.
It says in here.
Or Yap Yap. Tiff, when you're back, just shout out, because if you're talking, we don't hear you.
Let's do it. Where do you guys want to start? Where are we starting?
Oh, so there's Joey's TCAP. Joey says, talk the truth.
Talk the truth. And that's how talk the truth.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling that that's going to be responded to by more lies.
Probably. There's the arm hair.
Yeah, well, you're right. There's the arm lift
the very
up
visible arm hair
to make sure that people know that you're committing a hate crime.
Anybody has any questions? Let's do it. Tiffany Lockheart, I don't need receipts, honey, because I have a fucking restraining order.
Damn, Tiffany Lockheart, she called you honey twice.
Yeah, and Tiffany Lockheart is not that sweet to get that kind of treatment.
No.
But, what we have there is seconds after Joey is saying talk the truth, she comes with an immediate lie that she has a restraining order. She does not. She did not. She had a temporary restraining order until court, and nothing now. She just has nothing.
Right.
But lies.
I'm a victim.
Bartek donated $5. I am only here for the Clawbah, Tiffany. Will they want they? They better not.
Not on stream, Bart. Don't you worry about that, Bartek.
I don't.
That's my sister you're talking about. That's disgusting.
Play.
I'm a victim. Thank you, Bartek.
YouTube clout games. I don't gain thousands of subscribers off of other people's pain. That's not really my game.
Yeah, that's not her game at all.
Didn't she do the exact same thing to Brittany? Like, the only reason anyone knows who she is because she was dragging Brittany Simon with no proof, with no kind of receipts. And so when she's saying, I don't do this kind of thing, that's exactly, and she would have done it if I would have been arrested at that Walmart. She would have immediately went and took that video footage and made videos about that. I have been quiet about it the last month, but I was trafficked and I escaped and I'm ready to tell my story. Yeah. That would have happened.
Yeah.
Gimme with her GoFundMe.
Well, she was appalled by that. That was some racial profiling.
Racial profiling, and she was tempted to complain.
She dialed 911 and
then she thought about it.
Then Seth said, "Hey, well, no, let's hold off a second. Let's be rational."
It was probably Lil Tay.
Lil Tay probably talked her out of it.
It was like, let's take a step back there for just a minute. Give this dude some time to breathe.
So it's already been affected.
Tiffany, if you're still here, just pop in whenever.
Asked to be
my internet went down.
Oh, okay. So Tiffany, did you want to answer this was your shining moment when you got called honey twice. You missed it.
You did. Right when the moment came up, you had just stopped running your mouth and then you were gone.
Oh, jeez.
So
we thought you were tuning up. You were gonna break into song for us.
Probably, the piano just got tuned.
Yeah,
and then you don't even get to hear the song. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Another version of another chorus of my humps, perhaps.
Maybe.
Oh, that'd be great.
Maybe.
Or maybe like an old '90s VH1 show, like pop-up video. That'd be kind of cool.
Nah, she would never do that.
No, I wouldn't do that. No.
That's true.
Told to contact Wes by somebody. This is someone we have tried reaching out to since to explain the full extent of what had happened. So when we started, you want to see the restraining order, huh?
Oh, yeah.
See it.
I
have both of them right now, actually. I'm not going to dox people, but I can pull that shit up.
She got all kinds of restraining orders.
Yeah, so she was really excited to show these. And at this point, I had no idea that these existed. And even after this video, I still thought she was lying.
Mm.
Because how do you get a restraining? How do I not know about any of this?
Right, and what she shows, like, you can't even see what she shows.
You can't see what the hell it is. So I still didn't think it was real after the stream, because no way she would file and then do something that's stupid.
Right, but boy, were you wrong about that.
Oh, and I know there's going to be questions about her hair. I have confirmed with a former roommate. She told them that she had to shave her head for one of her clients who has a fetish. Mm-hmm. for bald heads, so that she could get $200 or whatever, because she's been left so broke and destitute since I ruined her online grifting career.
Yeah,
that she had to shave her head. But I personally don't believe it, because why would the eyebrows also be shaved?
Yeah. Is her Patreon still up?
No, the Patreon's been down as of like a week or two ago. Patreon's done. The GoFundMe is still up, which she should take it down. Yeah. Because as soon as one person donates and then goes to the police and say, I believe this is fraud. I think she's ripping people off, saying that she has DID, she has gastroparesis, she has all these things that I don't believe she has. She can get investigated and get charged with fraud for that.
Yeah. And
because this isn't the first GoFundMe that she's done.
And there's also you actually press charges for extortion. So there's
because I know that there's going to be questions about that. There were charges filed against her for extortion in my county. She's about 160, 180 miles from me. Courts still aren't fully reopened yet,
sure.
So she hasn't faced anything for it yet. But she even confirms it in this video that there are active charges against her. She claims it's a joke and it's stupid, but there are active charges, felony charges for extortion and filing. The false police report's a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm. So.
Give me a second. YouTube Schizophrenic has already seen it. We read through the entire thing together. So.
Yeah.
Diagnoses can't be shown. Once again, I've said before, I don't have all of my documentation this big.
Yeah, but I have all my I have my tarot cards, and cases of Pringles and ramen.
Real quick, because I have 2 points. So Alexis Marie, who I'm pretty sure this is the Alexis that lived with her before, and she's saying that she was told that Muse shaved her head because Christopher never let her cut her hair, so it was an act of freedom. So she'll tell people these different liberating stories, like when I talk about the buzzwords. But she shaves her head regularly. She'll shave her eyebrows. It makes her look very sick. Mm-hmm. It makes her look like something's wrong with her.
Yeah, it does definitely helps the illusion of like this.
Of course,
poor,
and then you have this little dog, and you have a feeding tube. It's all part of the victim package. It's all part of the pitiful looking package that she likes to put on, so that she can have people feel sorry for her and give her things. Mm-hmm. And I had another point, but I don't remember what she was talking about. So
and that is the Alexis, Wes. I
already talked about Alexis.
Yeah, I know, but you asked if it was the same.
Oh, that is
Alexis.
the Alexis. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yes. So, she has a lot of information on this story as well. So, people like that have been so invaluable. Oh, right here at this point, she's about to say that she doesn't have access to her medical records because of moving so many times. But it was someone very helpful on Twitter who pointed out to me my chart, mm-hmm. and how all of her information will be on my chart, and then also sent me the exact timestamp from a live stream she had done 3 weeks earlier where she talks about going into her my chart. So continue.
Record. So.
And when she went into her my chart, she just showed the patient comments portion
when
of it, right?
When she finally showed her my chart a few weeks later, it was the problem list, which is I equate it to when you take your car to the mechanic and you tell them it's making this weird knocking noise, it screeches when I'm backing out of the driveway, and then what they're going to give you at the end is the actual things that were wrong with your car.
Right, which she never
showed. You need
showed.
a higher octane gas, that's why your car's knocking. the squealing was just because your brakes are cold, and they're going to give you the actual. So a problem list is just things that she has written down or that she's wanted to be seen about. Those were not diagnoses, and she knows it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why TikTok went down as well. When she posted that, thinking that it was going to stop you, there are a lot of knowledgeable people who she had lied to and misled. So they almost are making it a mission to point out every inaccuracy and every lie because they know that she is making this stuff up.
Yeah, was that what was shown on the stream that you did with Holly Undead and RSN? Like, was that her by chart? I saw some stream that you did where
it was a problem list. So she had posted that on TikTok.
Okay.
It was a video where she was trying to say like, "Oh, you guys think I'm lying? Well,
yeah, right."
And it was a problem list.
Okay.
It was nothing. You might as well just have handwritten it on the back of like a Gordito wrapper.
Yeah, right. Which I'm sure there is a Gordito wrapper somewhere that has that written.
Or Taco Bell chicken fries. I'm sorry, Burger King chicken fries.
Oh, she loves the chicken fries.
She does love some chicken fries.
I knew what I was getting myself into when I clicked the live button. I was fully aware of it.
Did you know you're going to be the star of a clobbering time stream?
But if we're going to talk first
Nobody wants
right
that.
amendment.
What, Tiff?
Nobody wants that.
Nobody should, but yeah, I know.
I'm gonna do it.
You would think she would have had this ready, you know?
Yeah. Well, Well, she definitely wanted that question to be asked. So, and then there's a comment that says, "Can you not question someone's literal medical diagnosis? I don't understand what people aren't understanding about that. It's not your business." Well, she's making it everybody's business, though.
Exactly. When you're making GoFundMes and your Patreons and your videos and a Etsy shop and your hashtag actually autistic, and you make your whole identity about being a victim and a victim who is chronically ill, then you are making it everyone's business.
Yeah, if you're going to make a GoFundMe about an illness, it's people's right before they donate to ask
Verify
about it.
Exactly. Verify that what you're saying is actually real and not just part of some grift. I'll never donate to anyone unless they prove, they're claiming to be sick, unless they can prove it.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if that sounds rash, but you also know with Muse, if she had an actual diagnosis for any of these things, she would not be shy about showing them.
Oh no, it would be there'd be a commercial on halftime of the Super Bowl with it.
Oh yeah, where she'd be in a bed and it'd be like, "I'm a victim," and it would list off all her things and keep repeating softly, "I'm a victim."
Right. Yeah, it would be there'd be like an airplane banner with.
I want to see like one of those political commercials, that they run every time the election's going on.
Yeah.
But for Muse and her victimhood, like that should be put together.
So what's this? If I'm lying, what is this?
Nobody has any fucking
How
idea
are we
what.
supposed to know what that is?
Yeah, nobody has any fucking idea what that is. Like you throw it in front of the camera for 6 seconds, the camera can't autofocus quick enough, and like nobody can see it. It just look. I'll tell you what I thought. What it looks like. It's just random words.
Yeah, I thought it was fake. That's why I still didn't believe it at this point.
Yeah.
What's this?
Again, nothing.
I'm not showing you anything that's doxable.
Nope,
But what is that then if I'm lying?
I mean, at least then hold your thumb over like the
name,
names
yeah.
or whatever. I mean, like throwing it in front of the camera for a fraction of a second. How who knows what the fuck that is? And what it was just the temporary order of protection, which, like you said, anybody can really get. If that's what she's showing, or is she showing the medical? I don't know what the fuck that was. Nobody knows what that was.
It was some blurry bullshit. That's what it was.
It's blurry bullshit.
Certified copy.
Oh, well, it's certified, so
Well, yeah.
it's not bullshit then.
What are the blatant lies, huh? You're talking about how this whole
Again, she's addressing somebody in the comment room.
thing started. So we're gonna start from the beginning.
Arms up again.
Was asked to contact him. I didn't get the restraining order today. I've been sitting on this for a minute. I've been working behind the scenes, and as you guys can tell, our life is a lot better, because when you don't spend hours upon hours trying to ruin somebody's life and you work on improving your life, then you get to a place where you actually feel joy.
Is she talking about herself?
She is.
At this point, she's not spending hours and hours trying to ruin somebody's life.
No, she spent most of her life, as far as I know, that the life I can track, trying to ruin people's lives. But again, this was days after she was shitting on someone's floor, someone that she had known for years who tried to help her and who she fucked over. And I will say she is in a much better place. She's in a place where she should not be. And I'm sure she's in there because of lies that she told. But all of that will be uncovered soon enough.
Yep.
And you can establish some safety.
Well, but to be fair, Wes, she's not doing it right this second. She's not ruining anybody's life during the stream.
Not during that stream. Well,
so for 2 hours,
she's making things a lot worse on herself.
Well, yeah,
because she had just filed those papers against me, and this stream was the worst possible thing that she could have done.
I'm saying for this 2 hours, she's not ruining anybody else's life. Like,
no,
any
outside of herself.
Real
she's
people's
only
lives.
a harm to herself in this stream.
Right.
So now that I've established my safety, we're going to talk about what happened. So I was staying in Georgia. We can address prior roommate bullshit, fiasco, whatever.
Yeah, I think Wes already addressed that.
Just talking about everything from the beginning of the starting point.
Again, and if she had anything, there would definitely be some kind of video explaining, like, if she had any kind of case, there would definitely be some kind of video with receipts or at least an explanation. She doesn't give anything.
No, and she did well when she did the case against her ex with the whole Brittany Simon thing. What's funny is we call it the Brittany Simon thing, but it wasn't even about Brittany Simon.
No,
she was the collateral damage.
Yeah, Brittany Simon was kind of the face of it.
Was the name that she used to gain a small foothold on YouTube and Twitter. So
I mean, she fucked over Brittany Simon too, though. I mean,
of course, no, but that's what I'm saying. But the actual case,
the charges,
Brittany had nothing to do about it. She makes it sound like she also had a restraining order against Brittany Simon at some point.
Right.
She talked, but there was never anything. There was never anything that Brittany was doing wrong where there would have been an order of protection or any of those things. She sent everyone cease and desist, but Brittany had done nothing wrong. But yeah, I mean,
well, if she knew where Brittany was, Brittany probably would have gotten an order of protection, though. Because you don't need you didn't do anything wrong and you got one.
No, but I'm in the same state, so it's probably easier. I don't know what that would have been like because of where Brittany is.
Okay, but I'm saying she nobody really needs to do anything to her for her to get a temporary.
Oh, of course not. No. It's all about self-preservation.
Like if Brittany Simon was living next door to her, she would have got one too. Or
yes,
yeah.
With this particular issue. Started contacting Wes around January. By February, I had moved out there. He had paid for the ticket. He had paid for Amazon wish lists. There was a lot of saying that he loved Muse.
Nope. She corrects herself here.
Okay.
Well, not loved Muse, but liked Muse. There was a very strong attraction. I have dick pics, so let's talk trafficking.
Let's talk
again. Dick pics equal trafficking.
Apparently.
And that's one of the other things too. And I know because she sent other people those messages, she deleted a lot of things to make it sound like we were just in the middle of a conversation and then these pics showed up. There are so many nude pictures of her because I haven't deleted anything that were being sent to me. But that doesn't get mentioned. What we only talk about is she's making it sound like she's 16 and I'm this weird guy who moved her across the country.
Yeah.
Because in her mind, she sees herself as this, or wants to see herself as this vulnerable adult who's incapable of making her own decisions. But as the text messages show, the reason she got out here so quickly was because of her claims of the emergency surgery. And because the reason I wanted her to wait until March, April was so that she could find a place to live, not my house, because she claimed she had money. So I was like, find a place, look on Craigslist, find a room to rent or something, and I'll go check it out for you. Mm-hmm. But but she made it urgent, so she ended up at my house.
Tiffany, do you have an active? Did Lauren ever, or did you ever accuse Lauren of trafficking? Since he sent you about 9,000 dick pics and wanted you to trot your ass to Maine?
Well, there has to be some kind of abuse there.
Yeah,
I
you
definitely
think?
suffered.
Yeah, well, I think that's a little bit more legit.
Yeah. So definitely pain and suffering. No trafficking, because there's no fucking way I would ever trap my ass up to Maine.
Right.
No way.
Too busy swimming with the polar bears.
That's right.
Let's talk trafficking. So most of you guys clearly don't know the definition of trafficking.
Yeah.
Like, in most
Including
trafficking
you.
cases,
What's that?
Let's be clear.
Including her. She
Yeah.
has no idea what trafficking
Maybe
is.
when she's saying most of you, she's talking to all the voices, like all the alts.
Everyone but Lil Tay.
Yeah,
Tay knew
Lil
that it was
Lil
that
Tay
it was bullshit.
knows his shit.
Yeah, Lil Tay knew.
these aren't what you think it is. So we're gonna address that thoroughly. When there is any type of involvement in the adult industry in which there is a process of saying that you're going to give somebody a job, for instance, and this could apply to non-adult work as well. If you imply that somebody could help you.
So by this rationale, I'll let her finish her
Yeah,
explanation.
please, it's a great one.
Okay.
The website. We're building up here. Do you feel me? We're building up. Then help you find other models, which I'm so glad didn't happen. Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
And salty.
The whole fact of we were there for 2 weeks and this issue has lasted about 3 months now.
Okay, pause.
Okay.
Because now she's already out of the trafficking stuff. But so what she's claiming, because she's going to continue on later, is there is a site that I was doing a lot of consulting work on, brought in as a partial owner, like a minority owner, in exchange for doing digital marketing for a site that was supposed to launch in the Pacific Northwest, where there would be a stable of models, and then like say you're in Minot, North Dakota, you would be able to choose the model that you wanted to employ for this scene, and then you would direct the scene from your webcam while they're in the Pacific Northwest. Then that scene is yours, and it gets uploaded to sell on Mini Clips and those other sites where people are purchasing adult movie clips. And so there was no in-person contact, but like the whole idea was, and the website's still up, but it's been dormant since 2018. But the whole idea was just models are here. There are lots of people who want to like try and get their foot into the door in the adult industry. And this will be a way that you could direct scenes without leaving your home, without having to know models, without having to hire a studio or know anything about it. So that was the whole idea. It was like Lending Tree, but for porn, basically.
Okay, and
you
didn't recruit her to. We talked about this before, but you didn't recruit her for that. Like,
no, the site again, it's dormant since 2018. There are probably 100 models on it already. There was one ad that was ran, and I want to say the ad was ran back when Backpage was still a thing. So it might have been 2017. There was one ad that was ran, and there were like 200 models that applied, just in the Pacific Northwest, to be a part of this thing. And so I have worked in either the adult entertainment industry or the dating industry pretty consistently since 2007, and digital marketing since 2001. I don't need her. I wouldn't need her to do recruiting for me, and no one's doing face-to-face like, what is this, like a talent scout at the mall?
Yeah.
You don't do that kind of recruiting face-to-face. And if I did need someone to do recruiting for me, I would use one of the actual known adult models, who are a name, because they're going to vouch for you. Like, yeah, this guy's not a creep. This guy's not a weirdo. It's legit filming, that type of thing. I would never use someone who is supposedly so sick that they can't even work a regular job.
Well, and just her definition of trafficking. So if I'm going by what she just said, if I get a job, as an animator for Pixar, and they fly me to California to work on, the Toy Story 6, does that mean Pixar trafficked me?
Absolutely. And Pixar's had their eye on you and your sexy ass for a long time.
I know they have.
So when you get that job offer, don't take it.
Yeah, no, it's a trap.
Because that, my friend, is a trafficking.
Yeah,
trap.
Yes. But I mean, this is her definition of trafficking is like, accepting a job from another state, because she's saying non-adult work too. So if you accept a job at like in your company from another state, that they've somehow trafficked you. I mean, that's what this definition sounds like.
And it's because I'm sure she had a better idea of what she was going to say before she went into the stream. But when you lie so much and you're mixing up so many different things, it's hard to keep, whatever her points were that she wanted to make, she clearly did not hit them. But just claiming that a job offer made, and then like I needed her to help with models and she didn't, thank God, or like all those things, none of that stuff would equate to trafficking at all.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the Toy Story that I'm going to, it's a whole, we're talking about a whole different set of toys.
Okay. So that's for that.
Yeah,
that one company that keeps calling you.
Yeah.
In Reseda.
Again, gonna be on my, that's strictly going to be on my OnlyFans.
Yes.
Is insane. I'm loving this. I'm getting Quinn a little bit closer to the front now because you guys.
Yeah. And again, like as far as I know, and I don't know much about DID, but you can't like summon them like you can't summon personalities like Candyman. You can't just sit there and like wish. You can't. Let me bring Quinn. Let me bring Quinn in to deal with this. It just kind of. It's something that like just happens. You can't like make it happen like this.
No.
But again, I don't know much about DID. But
I'm a victim.
Bartek donated $3. Tiffany, when I send you dick pics, it's not because I want to traffic
see
you. It's cause I want you to trot your ass to Indiana and, well, just start trotting.
Yeah, we'll figure out the rest when you.
Good news. Good news, Tiffany. So
You got it, Bartek.
Tiffany's on her way.
They're ridiculous. Why wasn't he arrested?
She's got a yacht. There's Tiffany Lockheart.
Here she is. Uh-oh.
I'm a victim.
Bean Girl donated $1.
Aw, Bean Girl.
How dare you belittle this poor victim you've trafficked? Not only did they suffer from starvation because you did not cater to their liquid diet, they're also hairless because of the chemotherapy for the bulging brain tumor they obviously have.
Obviously, thank you, Bean Girl. Yeah, and
those are all good.
As far as I know, I think isn't she terminal again?
Well, yeah, she's claiming now that she is she's terminal again, and she's going to die at some point.
Which, oh my God,
that really hit close to home because I'm also going to die.
Me too.
Point. And I believe everyone listening is going to die at some point.
Oh,
so we all need to take time, guys, to be a little nicer to each other.
Yeah.
And maybe not accuse people of trafficking, and maybe not grift, and maybe not take advantage of every person you meet. And then shit like that won't happen, and people won't be sitting around listening to you stream like you're a female Lauren Armstrong.
Yeah. Well, she's chronically terminal.
She's chronically terminal.
Which I think we all are chronically terminal.
Are consistently terminal.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
Yeah, I think we're all going to die. So I think that makes us all chronically terminal.
Well, cases don't work like that. So
there
has to be substantial proof. The case is still being investigated.
Proof.
Yeah, well, because you asked why I wasn't arrested, so she said there needs to be substantial proof.
Right.
At this point, she was still claiming, remember that her case was with the actual DA, and the National Trafficking Hotline was supposedly investigating me. Even though I had proven those things did not exist, she was still running with that narrative at this point.
Yeah, Tiffany, don't you know how the law works? When someone calls 911, there has to be an investigation. They have to watch YouTube videos and make sure that everything is substantiated. You don't just arrest somebody. There's a lot that has to be involved.
There's a lot of research that's involved with arresting someone.
Yeah. It's way more involved than I think you're making it sound, Tiffany.
Well, what's funny is that for such a serious charge, they were literally with me for about 2 or 3 minutes before deciding I'm good.
Well, yeah, it's because their bullshit meter was at its peak.
Was at the peak that day.
Yeah.
And they kept telling me, I'm not playing this game.
Right.
I'm not playing this game. Right. I won't be silenced. My policing won't be silenced.
Right.
I would have been lying. They wouldn't have granted a restraining order. So
They didn't grant it. They didn't grant a restraining order. It was the temporary restraining order that is a part of the petition that she filed.
Yeah, I have one against Tiffany Lockheart right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
Like, it's
She's
not
going to keep
fair.
showing up at my house. She's going to keep begging
Right.
for dick pics. She will
Yeah.
continue what she's doing. So they're not that difficult to get.
Well, yeah, like and Shin said that like really all you have to do is apply for one, and they're going to err on the side of caution. She never had a restraining order. She had a petition.
Temporary order.
Yeah.
and you don't have to be physically harmed for something to be damaging.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. You guys are going way too fucking fast. Normal med shots are.
Wince DeCotra.
Yeah, Winston Cotra. You're going to notice a lot from Winston Cotra in the chat. That he or she was also, their bullshit meter seemed to have been up that day as well.
Yeah, Wince was not having it that day.
Not like this. You tried to put somebody in jail. No, I did not. I tried to go have a surgery. I tried to move in with someone who Muse was attracted to.
And yes, I tried calling the police and
But
having
stop
him.
bringing up old shit.
Yeah, that's in the past. Why can't you leave the past in the past? That was something Muse did.
Yeah.
That
You
wasn't-
gotta talk about someone who's not even alive anymore.
That wasn't Quentin or Corey.
Have a heart.
Yeah.
It wasn't Corey or Quinn or Seth or Sam
Right.
or Aubrey, Amanda, Dakota, Austin, Lil Tay.
Oh, definitely. If it was Lil Tay, you would have been in the morgue, not in jail.
And stop blaming Stefan Urkel, because what did that guy do?
Yeah, nothing.
You're
Never
gonna get
done
Mason
anything.
out, and once Mason comes out, the party's over.
Yeah, no one's gonna be laughing once Mason
No one's
comes
gonna
out.
be laughing.
And they were in a relationship. I have a dick pic, and no, I'm not going to show it. The relationship did not get ended by him. It was ended by Muse. No, I've literally.
I'm guessing not true.
There was no relationship.
Yeah,
But,
there
like,
was no relationship.
Once she showed up, there are lots of complaints from her to Kat about me ghosting her because I did not want to be around her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also very common with everyone she lives with. They start hiding in rooms. Their house no longer feels like their own, and they just want to be away from her. So I had been ghosting her. She's complaining to Kat about it, and she sends me a message like, "Hey, I'm not feeling like I'm ready." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's great. Let's plan a time for you to move out. Like,
Yeah.
let's get this worked out." And that's what it was. But she's trying to make it sound like I was some jilted lover who is attacking her now.
Yeah.
Much like Vince saying the only reason I made the receipt video was because I was jealous he couldn't get me a job, not getting paid just like him.
Right. Yeah.
They showed you the restraining order, Joey. You're just stupid.
Oh damn,
Oh.
Joey.
Oh, damn.
Joey.
Shots fired at Joey T-Cat.
Joey. As far as Joey's the furthest fucking thing from stupid.
Oh, cool.
He's so unstupid it'll make your fucking head spin.
Oh, here comes blurry nonsense.
Yeah, more proof.
Look at that.
Well, see
Look
that
at
that one you can kind of see, but again, it was the temporary.
Well, I just saw signature.
No, you can see like the thing from the court
okay.
on the top, but again, she puts it up there for 2 seconds and then like takes it away. But it was definitely, I mean, and again, it was just the temporary order of protection.
I'm not going to dox people.
Because she's better than that.
Yeah.
She would never do that.
Right.
Okay, cool. I actually wanted to talk to you.
There's RHI.
So I'm sorry
This is
if we
Reed.
hurt your husband, and I'm
RHI's and who's here right now? I
This
think
is Ree. This is Ree, who
Oh,
has
Ree.
been amazing and awesome and really helpful with a lot of this stuff because her and her husband James were lied to by Muse, and I believe she befriended them so that she can learn more about the disabilities that she's claiming to have, so that that she can understand how to better portray it. And so Ree is obviously upset that her life and her experience was used by someone to further a grift. And Ree has been open about this. She's been open about how she was lied to and misled by Muse. So when she showed up here, Muse acted like, "Oh, good, you're here." I was
Yeah,
hoping
thank God.
At any time, she could have explained. She later blocks her. during the stream. So
no surprise
she's
there.
so sorry. She's so excited to explain her side, but then blocks her.
Yeah. So
Because
Ree says, why did you push so hard for the money before you surprised him in the parking lot with the police? And who told you to call the trafficking hotline?
This is great.
So I'm looking forward to the answer of this.
I'm deeply
It's a great
sorry
answer.
that you
Yeah, oh no, it is a fantastic answer.
feel that our
Has nothing to do with the question, but it's an answer. It's an answer.
medical conditions aren't
Just
valid.
asking a question.
It's just talking. I don't see.
But if you want to talk to me like a person, you can do that. So
She's being
I'm more
scolded.
than happy to talk to you about how you feel hurt, and I want to hear you out. I want to hear
Until I block you in 10 minutes.
how this has impacted you, but I also need you to make space and let us talk about how it has impacted
Yeah,
us.
Ree, find some love in your
Because
heart.
this has had more impact on us than you can ever imagine.
Please pause.
Yes.
Ree, how dare you?
Yeah, have some.
How dare you come into that stream, talk about your own experiences, your own trauma, all the issues you're dealing with, while this poor girl is sitting here blaming everyone for what she's done to herself.
Yeah.
That was very selfish of you.
Yeah, what a
I think you
what a
owe everyone
monster.
in the chat an apology.
I think you
And we'll wait. We will wait. We will keep this pause until Ree decides to apologize to everyone for her behavior. But no, this is the projection where she's talking about, she's literally saying that this was worse on her than anyone else. But the only person who caused this was herself.
Right. And she's not answering this very specific question. She's being a victim instead of answering this question, which I would very much like an answer to.
Yes.
Our entire life has changed.
Did Ree apologize yet?
Let me see.
And if we
And
weren't multiple,
I don't see
we
an apology.
probably would have offed ourselves. So, why did you push so hard for the money before you surprised him in the parking lot with the police? Who told you to call a human trafficking hotline? Our story has never changed on who told us to call a human trafficking hotline. Still the same thing. Still the same exact thing. Went to the hospital for surgery. Prior, we had called hotlines because we were anxious and fearful in his home. So we called hotlines before, yes.
She calls hotlines all the time. She called the FBI because Real Stream News made a
Shut up,
stream.
Craigslist ad.
Yeah, right.
So,
She called the police on
I
Dee Dee.
actually got more information about the FBI calls and the multiple police department visits and everything from Kat. So,
Yeah.
like I said, this puzzle just keeps getting put together. There was no point in time at my home that she called any hotline out of fear. I mean, that's such bullshit. The first time it was mentioned to anyone outside of whoever she was lying to at the hospital, was after waking up out of surgery when she messages Kat, someone who she had been in communication with the whole time she was here and talking about how things were going, and all of a sudden it's, hey, we were trafficked.
Yeah. Well,
And how do you wake up and realize that you're trafficked unless the story, the lie that you're telling the people at the hospital leads them to walk you down that path and, oh my God, honey, you were trafficked.
Yeah.
And then she probably started crying and they got her a phone so she could call, and she made it a big dramatic production. And it spun out of control for her.
Sure did. Well, Ree says, I sincerely apologize for being so sensitive and to not ask her questions like she was begging us to, and specifically gave me permission to do so. How dare I? So
I mean, that was decent. That was a decent apology.
Ree, my system accepts your apology.
It was not that hotline. That was not the one we called. We actually called crisis hotlines and then a domestic violence hotline.
She called the National Trafficking Hotline.
But basically why we'd asked for the money beforehand wasn't because we were trying to get him arrested. It was because we were owed that money. It's in writing in his own contract. And we were trying to see if the police were there, if he was just gonna, and that was the case. So
when she's saying that it was a contract, one, it was no contract. It was a set of rules that she needed to live by, like not leaving trash on the floor, not leaving her dog's piss on the floor, not eating all the food and not saying anything so that I wouldn't know. There were basic things that you would never have to expect to give to an adult.
Not fucking with a thermostat.
Yes, right. Like, you just don't take advantage when you're living in someone's home for free. So there were basic rules. It was not a contract, and the money was offered so that she would have no excuse to leave my house. She left a few days later, and then she's talking, I owed this money, as if she had done a job or a service of some type, and this was nuisance money. This was money I was giving her to go away because she was a pain in the ass. Mm-hmm. So her acting like it was something that it was rightfully hers, that's upsetting.
Yeah.
It was hush money. He's literally said that money was to make us go away.
Yeah, to get you out of the fucking house.
The fuck out of my house.
Like, what kind of a person, like, how bad can a person be for somebody else to pay them to get the fuck out? You know what I mean?
Right, and then, well, if I'm at someone's home and they go, look, you need to go, and I'm going to give you money to leave, I would not take that money. Like, what a slap in the face that someone is so desperate to get rid of you that they're going to give you money to leave.
Yeah, what's that?
I'm incentivizing your move out of my home. And for her trying to call it hush money, it was more money if she left in March than if she left in April, because I wanted her to leave as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, like what you call it is get the fuck out money.
Yes, and initially it was going to be $1,000. I was going to do $1,000 if she left in March, and $500 if she left in April. But I'm like, I'm not giving her $1,000.
Yeah, no.
So I made it $500 and $250, but I really wanted her to leave in March. I would have given her that money because she did leave in March, until all the other stuff happened.
And then you actually ended up giving that money to the
Polaris
Project.
I gave the money,
and
I gave $250 to Polaris for the national trafficking, and then the other $250 I gave away on Twitter just to retweet the video when the video dropped, because I wanted to make sure I had the $500 allotted to give to her, and I wanted to make sure it went to some good. So I was able to help someone out during the whole coronavirus thing and give $250 to the National Trafficking Hotline, who right now, they really, because of everything going on, they really need donations because, police aren't policing as much as they can. And with all the protests and stuff, people are disappearing. Mm-hmm. So areas like that are hotbeds for trafficking. So while she's out here trying to make herself look like a victim, there are actual victims who need help.
Yeah, and wasting everybody's time. Like when she was on that hotline call with National Trafficking Hotline, there could have been somebody who, somebody who couldn't get through because the operator had to listen to this horse shit.
So I don't know how else that can be more clear. Like,
hand gestures aren't answers to questions.
Well,
what about clap? What about hand gestures and clapping?
Yeah.
No, Tiffany,
no.
Still no.
Still no.
But don't you understand that it emphasizes the point? It makes the point more valid when you clap when you're giving it.
Do a hand gesture.
Right, and it could if you're actually making a point, though. When you're not making a point and you just kind of flap your arms in the air and then clap after.
Yeah,
not answering anything.
Well, people debate different ways.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people use facts and evidence and receipts, and some people just use a series of noises.
Right.
It's like when Winnie could only communicate with the stapler.
Yeah, or
exactly right.
Screeching.
Yeah.
Twitter's not active again. I'm not going to jail for shit. Yeah, no one.
We'll see it. We'll see about that, Quinn. Maybe Corey's not going. Joey's
maybe,
TCAP.
Corey.
Maybe Corey's not going to jail. But,
well, Lil Tay's too young for.
Yeah, Lil Tay. Well, Lil Tay's not going to be going to jail.
Lil Tay won't go to jail.
No, Lil Tay would run that jail though.
Yeah.
Contacted me. No one has contacted me. Period. I do have a copy of what was filed
because nobody can find you.
Completely honest, which we always have.
That's why nobody's contacted you about. That's why you're not going to jail soon because nobody can find you yet. But it'll catch up to you.
Have been. There is a report. He did not lie to you guys. He has been truthful in that aspect. It has been filed. Has anything been done with it in the matter of 2 months? No, because it's not legitimate. You feel me?
I feel you, dog.
Yeah.
What made you feel fearful in his home? This is a conversation that I was involved in prior to Muse integrating. So
I
the
can't
raising
answer.
of the voice.
Can't answer your question.
That
Hold on. This is right here.
Okay.
Also, saying that our voice is naturally more deeper and that the Muse voice was fake is absolute bullshit. No, my voice is always this deep. My voice, personally, me, Corey. But what made us feel fearful in his home was the fact that he had said that we weren't holding up our end of the deal. What the fuck does that mean? You knew we were asexual when we flew out there. You knew that for a fact. I am now going to go look back for that message in which
So right here, what she's trying to claim is what made her fearful in my home was a conversation that never happened. And because she knows I have text of everything, she starts talking about this quote unquote conversation that we had where I was yelling at her and I said, "You're not holding up your end of the deal or your end of the bargain or whatever that may be." And she's saying that's what made her fearful. But even in her own lie, because that conversation never happened, what did happen, and I said there was a conversation, she tried raising her voice at me in my home. And I said, "You're not going to yell at me in my house. I'm done with the conversation." And she was telling me that I needed to be held accountable for asking her to leave sooner than she wanted to leave. That was on me. And so I go upstairs and I start thinking about like, well, I'm asking her to leave a month earlier. And I sent her a message and I said, I will make it $500, the same $500 for leaving at the end of April. You know, I was going to be $500 to leave at the end of March, $250 for April. I said, I'll give you the same $500 and I will help you with finding another place to live. And that was my attempt to be accountable. But when she was telling me I need to be held accountable, it's because she was cooking up bullshit like this in her head. Because she already had a place that she had figured out to move to prior to leaving my house for surgery. She already knew where she was going right after that. Left the room a mess, and then was apologizing to me because it was like an unplanned thing that she was going to stay out there. But she knew when she left my house that day that she was not coming back.
Yeah.
Because she, as her pattern goes, when things are falling apart at one place because no one can stand living with her, she needs to start working on the next move. And she's going to try to fuck that person over in some way if she can.
I mean, again, Phoenix asks a legitimate question and she gives no kind of answer. She just
exactly
flashes like phone screens and you know.
Well, and now she's going to bring up the text where she makes it sound like she was ending some relationship. But just keep in mind that 2 days prior to this text, she was sending Kat messages about how she was so upset because I was ghosting her in my home and spending no time with her.
Right.
Ended the relationship, not him. How long did we know Wes before he brought us out? A month. 1 month.
And she says it with like a sense of pride.
Yeah.
Like that just proved a point that she was making. But again, the only reason she was out here so fast was because her insistence that she needed to get here ASAP.
Yeah, she's making it sound like he's crazy. After a month, he demanded that but she was insisting to come out there after a month.
Yes.
Like it would have been 2-3 months if it would have been
3 or 4 months. If it was up to me, it would have been, there would have been time taken so she could find a place to live. I've never had a house guest. I didn't want anyone staying in my home. Why would I just automatically choose to let this person, move in? She claimed that she was very, very ill. And these aren't just, I have the text. I haven't showed them. Other than the Chris Hansen video, I haven't shown them in any of my videos yet because I hadn't even thought about them until recently when I was putting that video together. But I'm going to show those and explain what was going into those and how when it didn't work on the 25th, when she was pretending that someone was trying to break in, when that didn't work, the next day she went to that sepsis. The very next day, and on that day there was a planned roommate meeting with Kat where they were going to discuss the issues going on in the home because Kat was fed up, and Muse was able to tell her that day, "Well, I'm moving anyway, so no need for a meeting."
Yeah,
that was stupid on Muse's part. Exactly, and that's what they did, and then we had to follow up with them.
So the Wince says the hospital is required reporters they would have by law had to call the trafficking hotline for you.
Yeah, and this was a mandatory reporters at the hospital, especially in Seattle. Washington was the first state with sex trafficking, specific sex trafficking laws on the books. So they take it very seriously here. And if they would have thought that she was trafficked, the hospital would have called the trafficking hotline. She would not have been calling them herself. And the trafficking hotline would have gotten the police involved because that's what they do. They're a reporting function.
Yes.
They would have called the police wherever she was going and let them know that this person was a victim of trafficking. And then they would have worked, it would have been handed off to the police who would have worked from there to find me and do whatever needed to be done to catch this trafficker. No one did that. The hospital clearly was not involved other than maybe leading her along the way to think that she was trafficked. Mm-hmm. But so that's how you know that all of her story is bullshit, because in her messages to Kat, she says, hey, we were trafficked. I'm calling the hotline. I'm calling domestic violence hotlines.
Yeah.
Required by law. It's not so much as if it was enforceable or not. It was the fact that I was trying to see if it was hush money. Because from the very beginning, I've talked to people in my Discord about how weird it was.
So if I may enter this these Discord ramblings into evidence, Your Honor.
Yeah. Yeah. So after I had given her the house rules, I guess she was complaining about it. So I don't know anything about this because I didn't know anything going on behind the scenes of her having another place to go or her cooking up these bullshit trafficking charges. But apparently she was talking to people in Discord, and that totally meant that it was a real thing. Yeah. Why would she tell lots of people a lie to get sympathy? She would never do something like that.
You never lie on Discord.
Fixed to an asexual person. You ask me, I don't fucking know either.
I have the full conversation. I can include it in my video.
Show the message where he said that you were not holding it up the end of your body. That was a in-person conversation. It took place in his kitchen after his child had gone to sleep. And I asked him.
So she started screaming at you after your kid went to sleep?
No, he wasn't even there.
Oh, okay.
But so she just got confused because in the text messages where we talk about, I say, after I gave her the house rules, I was dealing with the police because the girl, the ex that was stalking me, who got arrested that day. The same day I gave her the house rules. All this stuff is going on. And when she's trying to come downstairs and talk to me while I'm dealing with the police, I tell her I'm not interested. And she's like, well, but it's about my health. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. We'll have to discuss it later because for whatever reason, she believes that her health issues need to be the most important thing at the time, no matter who she's around or what's going on. So me dealing with the police because I'm being stalked, I needed to stop what I was doing because she needed to talk to me about some medical bullshit.
Yeah,
and what she wanted to talk to me about was that her and her therapist thought that it was mean that I was asking her to leave, and she felt like I was rushing her out of my home. And I said, I'm not kicking you out. And it's via text. I'm not kicking you out. We can discuss it later because my kid was going to be here the next day. We can discuss it later. And that was basically it. So I tried to have a discussion with her about it, and she immediately started raising her voice. And I don't raise my voice. I'm not that person. Mm-hmm. And I'm definitely not going to raise my voice you're not going to yell at me in my house.
Yeah.
So I told her we were done having the conversation, and she stormed upstairs.
Yeah, and Mugnuts brought up a point like the last question. She just, why even put it up if she's not even going to address
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
Explain what the fuck that.
Although I don't know how StreamYards works as far as like putting up questions like that. I don't know if you.
Well, she was purposely putting them up because she would say, "Oh, I'm going to put this one up."
Yeah, but I don't know if it's like if you can accidentally put that. Like I don't know how StreamYards works. So if you can accidentally click on one that you didn't mean to, who knows?
It seemed like she was clicking on ones that she maybe thought.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Or I think she was clicking on ones that she thought were going to be positive towards her, and then because she wasn't fully, she had no one to mod. Yeah. So, and then by the time she put it up, she realized, oh, wait, this is not, I can't answer this in a positive
way. No, this is Joey Teacap again.
Yeah.
Going to have that conversation with me.
Joey Teacap's not on my side.
And I don't know what else that could mean. So.
Well, I mean, there was a deal. There was an actual deal. She was supposed to clean. That's what she said she loved to do. She made it sound like while she was in Georgia that she's just all day cleaning and whistling while she's doing it. She said that was her way of showing appreciation, was by keeping things spotless. And she claims to have OCD. So she's just a spotless, clean person. When she's talking about an Amazon wish list, many of the things on that wish list were things that she wanted to clean my home with. And so I was supposed to rehire my housekeeper, and I didn't because Muse made it sound like she was just going to be here a cleaning all day long with a big smile on her face. But she twice in 2 days in a row put dirty dishes away in my cabinets. And each time I had to take everything out of the cabinets and rewash them. So on the third day, I was downstairs cleaning up, and she messaged me via text and said, "Hey, I was going to do that after my live stream. What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, the housekeeper's coming over. So I just kind of want, because you got to clean up a little bit before the housekeeper gets there so you don't look like shit."
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, so I'm just like kind of and she got upset with me for rehiring the housekeeper without talking to her about it. Because in her mind, that was something I needed to clear with her. And I made it very clear, this is my home. You are a guest here, but I live here permanently. And I need to make decisions for my life. You're not cleaning. You'll like push a dirty rag around the kitchen counters a little bit, but you're not cleaning anything. And then the house is much bigger than just a kitchen. So that was the only deal, quote unquote, that wasn't being upheld, was when she pretended that she was a clean person, because she is filthy. It is like living with a feral cat. You bring a feral cat in your house, they're not going to poop in the litter box. They're not going to, they're not going to be clean and tidy. They're going to be gross and disgusting and poop on a mound so that all the other cats in the area know where they are. And she's very much the same. Yeah. It's like inviting a rat or just bringing a Tasmanian devil into your home and expecting it to just be like, oh, well, it'll be fine. Like, who doesn't know how to live among adults and just be respectful?
Yeah. And she was a psychotic Mary Poppins.
Yes.
She's going to clean and
Mary Poopins.
Yeah, Mary Poopins. She's going to clean and sing and then, crap next to the toilet.
I missed that part of Mary Poppins.
Yeah, where she shit on the bathroom floor. I think that's on the Criterion version.
That's on the directors.
Yeah.
The directors. That's been locked away in the Disney vault.
Yeah, right.
How do you know that?
Oh, there's Tiffany
You
Lockheart
can cover whatever information.
There's big mouth Tiffany Lockheart again with her stupid questions. You want to read your question, Tiffany?
Sure. You can cover whatever information would be doxing and post it. He's putting this story out. You should too.
Okay, let's hear what let's hear Corey set you straight, Tiffany Lockheart.
Information would be doxing and posting it. He's putting the story out. You should too. Yeah, that's what we're going to be doing.
Still waiting. That's still pending.
Still pending. Yeah, it hasn't happened. And that's a legitimate question, because obviously we know Wes's side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but we're not hearing anything from her. We're just
do you know why that is?
Well, yes, of course I do. I do understand why it is. But I'm saying she's never shown anything. She's never explained anything. She just kind of makes her faces, and she's really smug about having all of this information and having cases with the literal DA and having human trafficking hotlines involved. And none of it's legit. None of it.
Yeah, she's very dismissive towards her. Like, you could see the look on her face when there's a Tiffany Lockheart question comes up.
Yeah, she's not a fan. She's not a fan of Tiffany Lockheart.
She's probably not.
I also said in my first video that as I was sitting in that parking lot, as the police were driving away, and I wasn't getting arrested for trafficking, the first person I contacted was Tiffany Lockheart.
Yeah, I think that was like your only mistake, Wes.
That was the big mistake in the whole thing was getting Tiffany involved.
Because then
I understand.
You just got done with this traumatic experience, and now you got that voice in your head.
Right. You just jump right into another one.
Right. Yeah.
I have threats to be doxxed already, so.
It was not a threat. That person did not threaten to dox her. They
No.
said they wouldn't dox
In fact,
her
they
because
said
they want a horrible person like her.
Yeah, they said the exact opposite.
The only doxing, they knew her name. They said, I know your full name, but I'm not going to give that out because I'm not a horrible person like you. That's not a threat to be doxed.
No, and in fact, that's quite the opposite of a threat to be doxed.
Is there any way to DM us? Yes, it's not a sock account. Like, our account, Muse Creations XO, is our business account. We have had to shut down every form of income as a result of this experience. He was also on our OnlyFans.
Also public sites.
Yeah.
I wish I had another person here.
And again, she's an adult, but she talks like she was 16 and being taken advantage of.
Right.
An altar so that I could have somebody be scrolling this and then also be able to watch and respond to you guys. I apologize, but if you want me to find this text, you're going to have to wait a second.
What text is she looking for?
Who knows? Yeah, I already forgot what the question was. Something maybe it was about the contract. Who knows? But it doesn't matter because she's not going to.
We flew out February 18th.
Yes.
By March 5th, we were gone.
Yes.
Let me know when you need head or back rubs. I hope you feel better in the morning. This is February 23rd. I'm only asking because when you don't feel well, I always give head rubs. Not sure what time we're going to the eye doctor, blah, 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 blah. In addition to not feeling well and being more distant, Muse was being more distant, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So again, I mean, those messages exist where she was complaining about me not being anywhere near her. And the message that she was reading was what I would do is, because I was working a lot or pretending I was working a lot or walking around with headphones on, she liked to have her head rubbed like a dog. Mm-hmm. She has a dog fetish. One of the things that she listed as being essential items that she had left in my home was a leather dog mask. So she liked having her head rubbed. And the first couple days that she was at my home, I have two offices, and that office became her bedroom. So my computer, one of my computers was still in there that I was finishing up a video editing on. So I didn't want to move it all out of there yet. So the first 3 days she was here, that computer was in there, and she would ask me to rub her head. And when I started ghosting her, I would respond back to her at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because I knew that she was already asleep or should have been asleep. Because it's really uncomfortable when you have this person in your house and you are literally trying to hide from them in your own home. And she'd only been here at that point 2 weeks, and this needed to go on at least until the end of March. So you're trying to figure out ways to be nice, but without being available.
Yeah.
And I know in Kat's case, she would pretend she was sleeping with no TV in her room or anything for up to 8 hours so that she didn't have to communicate with her.
Oh my God.
And would just be on her phone.
How horrible. Just to be just to feel like that in your own home, man. I couldn't even imagine.
This is too close to trauma and basically asking for this to stop. No worries at all. So
there you go. More blurry phone screens.
Yeah, no worries at all.
Yeah, this one gets a little less blurry.
Yeah, and then it was no worries at all. Let's figure out a way for you to move out or whatever within the 2 to 3 months. Mm-hmm. And you can see at the bottom, find a place to live. No worries at all. That just doesn't sound like someone who was upset at all.
Yeah,
at
no.
That message. And when I am ghosting this person, it's very clear where things were.
Yeah.
But you see, she said she panicked, but I'm being really sweet, which I was. I was, feeding this person, and if they needed a ride somewhere, I would give them a ride or ask if they needed a ride, if they needed to get somewhere, because at that point, I still believe they had all of these some of these medical conditions. I did not believe all of them. And I know she was going to therapy and stuff like that, but she was taking a state provided free taxi service for that. But, so there was she didn't at all feel attacked or threatened in my home. So what she just showed was proof that she didn't.
Yeah. She's killing her own case with her own texts.
With her own receipts, yeah.
She forgot to delete some of those texts.
She did. Well, she couldn't do that. Was all one text, so she couldn't hide any of it without showing the other part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was all one message. She should split her messages up by sentence in the future so that she can delete whichever sentences she doesn't like.
Yeah, the threatening sentence that she can keep the threatening sentences. Those. Yeah.
And that's when we had decided that things were going to be terminated, was because of the fact that we weren't holding up our end of the bargain.
But she just said in that message that I was being so sweet.
Yeah.
For what I read previously, if it will focus, my apologies.
Yeah. Again, just basically what you just said.
Yeah.
Wasn't Muse complaining about the ghosting? So, yes, that was an issue, but that wasn't the primary thing. It was because there wasn't any sexual energy that was there. There was no, he was expecting someone that he did not get, and that is true.
That is true.
Yeah, the clean person.
Yeah, you were expecting
the clean person who was actually sick.
Somebody you weren't expecting a Tasmanian devil to be tearing through your house. So
a filth rat. I was not expecting that.
Yeah, so she's right about that.
So in the sense of being asexual. An offer of head crubs is the equivalent of trafficking. No, you're missing the whole point.
Yeah, Joey. Stupid.
Joey's dumbass.
And honestly, I don't know you.
Was that?
Why doesn't she block Joey?
Oh, she's getting there.
She will. She will.
Yeah, I know.
Appreciate you in my chat, so I'm going to block you.
There it is.
Oh, see, Joey?
I'm sorry, but when you upload my 911 tape,
when you expose my lies, you're not welcome in my streams.
What I love though is that was a plug for Joey TCAP, who has uploaded the full 911 call to his channel. So big ups to Joey TCAP, as Muse just gave him the shout out.
Yeah, I second that shout out.
911 call.
I second that shout out. If you're not subscribed to Joey Muse, I'm with you. If you're not subscribed to Joey's TCAP,
get out of here and go subscribe to him. Like she's telling you, get out of here, go subscribe to Joey TCAP.
That's right. It's approved by Seth. It's Seth approved. the Seth approved Joey's TCAP channel.
And that list is really small. She approves of Cash App. She approves of Burger King chicken fries.
Yes.
And she approves of Joey TCAP and his magical style.
Yes.
So.
Out. I gave you a chance, but you're being a dick. So I already showed the restraining order. Not going to continue to play your fucking bullshit game.
Ooh.
So.
Damn.
And then she's just sitting there shaking her head, not reading the question or anything.
Right.
But again, she's acting as if she is 15 without any agency of her own, and that things are forced upon her. Again, so there is in no way trafficking. And you actually, in my mind, can't be a dom to someone without, one, meeting them, and two, being 2,000 miles away.
Yeah, that does hinder things.
It does.
And this is the one person who is on her side.
Yeah, just eating ass, or I'm sorry, just eating tush.
Yeah,
has been on her side. I think they might have told me to reach out to her at one point regarding the whole, when they were telling me all those things about RSN when I first got onto Twitter, and that's how I got in contact with her, because there was supposed to be some investigation and the FBI had been called, and it sounded like this big crazy thing. And Tush just eating Tush was one of the people who I was supposed to contact.
Mm. There's Lizzie again, talking shit.
How is that? Can you show me where that happened? Because that's definitely not what happened, my dude. Still don't know who you think you are and why you think that you know the whole story.
Yeah.
You've heard one side of the story.
Who are you, my
And
dude?
like Tush said earlier, there's 3 sides.
I think there's 16 sides because there's Wes's side.
Everyone has and then everyone in her head has a different part of the story, and it's like playing a game of telephone.
Yeah.
Where you tell the first person the clock's going to strike at 3, and by the time it gets to the last person, it's the bike is no longer free. And so by the time everything filters down through her head and comes out, she's heard it differently, and that's how she reacts. Everyone's playing a game of telephone.
Yeah.
Interpretation of what happened is all I can offer. And then it goes to somebody else. How the fuck are you back? No way.
Yeah, Joey at that point had come back.
Yeah, right.
into the chat and had asked another question, and Muse was very confused how he showed up again after being blocked, and that's because Joey's magic.
Yeah, he does. She just plugged his channel. Of course he's going to come back. How are people supposed to subscribe if he's blocked?
Exactly. Have some common sense here.
Yeah.
What part of that do you think? That's not. Yes,
that's
Dom
a really good question.
Okay, so were they in a Dom sub agreement or whatever? Because that's normal, isn't it? We'll see how she responds.
Agreements are normal. That's not even like a question. And no, there was no official timeline laid out. There wasn't even an official rent that I could get him to give me. I had asked,
wait, rent that that she can give, that you can give her?
Well, what she's saying, so before she got out here, because she was saying her money was all mixed up and she didn't really know what was going on, there was no official rent amount that I had given her. And I have the messages where I think it was like the second or third day here, I said, let's do $300 a month. She'd been paying $400 or $450 in Georgia. Mm-hmm. And because I knew she needed, in Georgia, it was open-ended. They had no move-out date for her. She could have stayed there for who knows how long. But she was awful, so it only lasted a few months before it was so uncomfortable she had to leave. So in Georgia, she was paying $450 here because she needed to save money so she can move out. That was always the goal. It's only going to be a few months. I said, let's do $300. And I have the messages where I told her that. And then after the whole thing, a few days later, like 4 or 5 days later, when it was just so much worse, and she sent the message about leaving or whatever, that was when I was like, let's do free. We'll just call it free. Like 2 or 3 months, and then she was like, well, I'm pretty sure I can do 3.
Yeah, I think I could swing free.
That's not up to you. And when you're awful, I could have, and that's the problem, is because of the Washington state laws, she was considered a tenant. I couldn't just make her leave.
Right.
And I knew that if I didn't do it right, that she was going to like try and sue and say she was wrongfully kicked out, or I would have had to go through the eviction process. It would have been a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Him like probably 12 different times to tell me how much I was paying. And that was another red flag sign, was that I was being paid to leave.
Yeah.
That is a red flag.
Yeah.
That's not how any
that should tell you
type of housing agreement works, my dude. That's never how anything works.
So I don't understand what point she's trying to make there.
No, I don't either.
Because she was given a rent, and I have the text message where she agreed to the rent amount. So she was given a rent amount, and then that rent was reduced to free, and then it was $75 just to recoup the food that she was eating. But the most anyone was expecting out of her was the $75 per month by the time she left.
Yeah, she's basically confirming how awful she is to live with by saying.
Getting paid to leave is an indictment on her, not on me.
No.
You don't get to live somewhere free and then have somebody pay you because they're afraid that if the truth gets out, like that's the thing that you guys aren't piecing together. What was so awful that he had to pay money? It wasn't to get us to go away. There's a secret here. somewhere deeper down of information that I don't have, there's something deeper going on. Because why would somebody?
There's a secret, Wes. There's a secret. The secret to Wes Moast.
That's what's great is that so she's claiming there is a secret. Why else would he give me $500 whole to leave? Because it couldn't be because all the things that I mentioned, like her quitting her job and how she likes to make excuses and all those other things. Like, why else would I do it? There's a secret. I don't know what it is, but I'm sure there is one, and it's shady and nefarious, and that's why I'm afraid for my life, and that's why I filed these charges.
Right? Yeah. But I can't tell you exactly what it is, but
because she doesn't know.
Let me just put that.
No, but she's sure it's something.
Yeah. Let me just put that out there.
Pay money to shut somebody up.
She didn't want you to find those Gilgo Beach
That's not even true.
bodies.
That's not even.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe she didn't want you to find those Gilgo Beach bodies.
It's the Gilgo Beach bodies that are in the attic.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I hid those so well under newspaper and behind like old mannequins that are just like creepily standing. If you go into a dark attic, where's the last place you're gonna go check out? Behind the creepy mannequins.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh no, you never check behind the mannequins.
In the old chest covered in cobwebs.
True. We had money before we had to quit our job. We had money before we had to quit.
So she had to quit her job. I don't know what the hell. Oh, that's the job that she's talking about. The I guess the sex works job, the cam job. But she had no money. The only money that she did have was when she had sold all her stuff in that domestic violence sale that I showed you. Because when she got to my house, she still owed a substantial amount of money to Kat's family for living in Georgia because she was unable to pay after claiming that she would have no problem paying $450 a month in rent and telling me that she was on time and had paid for everything. She told them she still owes them money. She was unable to pay them for things. So no, she had no money when she got here. She misled me to make me believe that she would have been able to rent a room from someone. She would have been able to get an apartment somewhere, but it was just time that was she didn't have. But no, she had nothing, and she still has nothing.
Yeah.
Are you planning on releasing a video with your side of things to clear things up? Probably not the type of video that you guys are thinking. As you guys have done in the past.
It'll be more like incoherent rambling. If that's what you're referring to, Phoenix, then yes, definitely. I'll be releasing a video with incoherent rambling.
Yeah. Well, another one after this.
Yeah. So. Right. A second one.
I don't do court battles with receipts public. I don't do that. Everything that I have gets submitted to court. It's not an online game for me. This was traumatizing. And the fact that you guys feel the need to try and validate what has happened, that was quite possibly one of the worst experiences that our system has ever gone through, is creepy.
It's really, really creepy to need validation for accusations. That's creepy.
Yeah. It's creepy that like people... that you actually have to have proof before you have somebody put in jail. Oh
yeah, there's something wrong with the system there when you need to prove that you were trafficked and that someone is committing hate crimes against you instead of them just looking at you're clearly sick with the feeding tube and puppy and just giving you whatever it is you're asking.
Yeah, I think I'm a victim should be enough proof.
That should be enough.
That
would have been all she would have needed to set in court. She could have just sat up from the bed they would have wheeled her in on.
Yeah,
because she would have been in the bed. And she would have just lifted her head up and said, I'm a victim, and did the sniff, and the judge would have banged the gavel and told him to get me the hell out of there.
Well, it's essentially what she did to Brittany Simon's ex.
Yeah, exactly.
Work that time.
So him paying you to leave was trafficking. It doesn't even seem like he liked living with you at all. That's not important. It's not important. You guys are missing the huge point of like the fact that the connections here. The connections, my dude.
Yeah.
The connections.
She was in an airplane.
Sex work. Moved across the country.
Airplanes.
Okay.
Kicked out when sex wouldn't happen. Like
what?
That never.
What?
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
mean, even like, well, so she's right now. She's like head blown. But even in the message that she read herself, that she showed, I'm telling her she has 2 or 3 months rent free in my home. So how was she at any point kicked out?
Or trafficked?
Well, yeah, of course. But like she's trying to make these points, and and it's like in her head, she feels like these points are really landing, but she's just really breaking down her entire case over the course of a 2-hour live stream.
Yes, yeah.
As soon as we quit sex work, we got kicked out. So,
Which is not true.
So I kicked her out because she quit doing cam work where she was making like $30 a week. Why would that happen?
Yeah.
Why would I care if she was doing cam work or not? And why would that lead me to kick her out?
No.
I mean, because she should have quit because it's not profitable for her. And according to her
it's a good
journal
suggestion.
where her journals where she was writing down how much she was making as a stripper, she wasn't very good at that either. And in fact, in her own words, someone told her that she wasn't very good at it. And if you're stripping and someone decides to tell you you're not very good at it, take a long look in the mirror, rub some of the body glitter off, and ask yourself, am I good at taking my clothes off to a Def Leppard song? And if the answer is no, stop doing it.
Hey, that's the exact argument that I had with myself when I
and your father at one point.
Yeah,
but that was when you were 13, and you shouldn't have been. Shouldn't have been stripping to Def Leppard. But right. we all have our goals.
Yeah.
And but no, I really would wish I could have done counterpoint with her on this to ask why I would ask her to leave because she stopped doing cam work. I had told her that the rules were coming 2 days prior, and I took a couple days writing them. And I already knew that she wasn't going to be able to stay in my home as long as it needed to be 1 month sooner, 1 month closer to sanity. So I had a definitive date that she was going to be out of my house.
Yeah. There's the Stan Chan.
Tell him to call me.
Stanley Kendall came out from beyond the grave.
Tell them to call me. They have my number. I didn't even get sent the report. I had to ask for it myself.
No one knows where you live.
Yeah. No, exactly.
No one has ever contacted me. Even in the report, they say I was contacted. I was not contacted. I've posted call logs. I've also posted the planner. There's no such call that has ever taken place.
Yeah, you can't delete any call from a call log.
Yeah, call logs are admissible in court. You just can't alter a call log. It's like MySpace Messenger. Those are the two most secure ways.
Completely infallible.
Yeah, if you introduce those into evidence, you can't dispute it.
They're allowed to think what you want. You can call me a liar.
Yeah.
Off the Verge has a request.
Can Clawbah read the Stan Chan's comment? In the Stanley impression. Okay, hold on. Let me go back to it. Extortion's a felony, Corey. Is that good enough? I don't really do a Stanley.
That was really good.
Thank you.
You can call me a munchie. You can call me whatever you want. But I'm not going to sit here and literally be beat when I'm down and have 5 videos made about me.
7.
Soon to be 7. Well, so if you don't count ours, like I think I have 3 or yeah.
Oh, that's true. And then and I mean I've seen several from other people. So
and then Joey has a couple that she was just promoting.
Yeah, but I think she's specifically referring to my videos. She probably hates those the most.
I don't think so.
Here she's just eating tush. Extortion is a felony. I'm sure the courts will address the extortion that Wes attempted.
Which extortion is that again?
And I believe that's saying, please take money and leave my home. I don't want to see you again.
Maybe that's the backwards extortion.
She later claims it's backwards extortion, which is definitely not a thing.
No.
But yeah, I would love to know what the ass eater, what she had to say about how was I extorting anyone?
Yeah.
I did tell her that if she lied about me, and I said, if you've told people I trafficked you, correct it. If you're making up stories about me, retract them. If you don't, I will clear it up on my own with videos, because that's what, at that point, I was only known for the have a receipt video where I took Vince's lies and I showed receipts and I made him look like an ass. Why would she think that wouldn't happen here?
Yeah, after seeing that video, I'd be very, very careful about fucking over Wes Moast.
Especially with the amount of stuff I have on you and
Yeah,
Tiffany Lockheart.
that's why.
Yeah, you don't want that.
That's why I'm watching what I say.
12 people were either
I don't want my OnlyFans going public.
Yeah, it will.
Allie the Alien already has some compromising photos of my waifu days.
contacted or contacted him in which to destroy my entire life. Because that is creepy.
What do you think would have happened to me if I would have gone to jail for trafficking?
Oh, that wouldn't have destroyed your life.
Probably would have destroyed my life.
Could have made things better for you. You know, you could have.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Could have joined a
three
prison
hots
gang.
and a cot.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, she only looks at what it's done to her without thinking of the reason she was. It's like Lorne. You know, he wouldn't have been in Nashville if he wouldn't have ripped off Betty, if this and that wouldn't have happened. But instead of looking at his role in that, she would rather blame what's happened to her after. She's talking about how I continue talking about it, and that's creepy. Well, I keep having people reach out to me to share their stories.
Yeah. That's
creepy. That's crazy that when my video only had like 3,000 views, I'd had 5 people already contact me. How did Brittany Simon find my channel that had 2,000 people on at the time? Because a friend of a friend of a friend saw my video and they made sure it got to her, because holy shit, she's doing it to someone else.
Yeah. And
the fact that
she's equating like her getting like mean videos made about her, she's equating that to you potentially spending 20 years in jail for a crime like that is just fucking crazy.
Because now she can't grift people and pretend that she's a autistic business owner on Etsy and continue spreading her bullshit about trauma on every GoFundMe that she wants to put up whenever she gets a skin knee. Fuck that.
Yeah.
This is all on her.
Yeah, and how exactly was what Wes did not extortion?
It was backwards extortion.
Because it's backwards extortion. I don't know exactly what word it would fall under. It's probably not actual extortion.
Yeah, it's definitely not actual extortion. In fact, it falls under the terms of giving you money to get the fuck out.
That's backwards extortion. Dude, look it up in any legal book.
Yeah, I think is Shin still here? Maybe Shin can clarify that backwards extortion for us, because I don't have a legal degree.
I was hoping Shin was here.
Yeah.
To explain the backwards extortion and the many cases that it's been used.
Yeah, there's a lot of precedent for backwards extortion, I'm sure.
No, I'm saying I did say it's the worst thing that has ever happened to us, but collectively, like all of us that have had to witness this, because normally trauma affects one part or two parts.
Can we pause this?
Yeah, sure.
Because so it's talking about West, which again I love being called West, but
I know you do.
She was saying that it was worse than the events that caused her DID, and I know a lot of people have questions about the DID, and from what I was told, it was called an intentionally designed system. I believe that's the term for it. But what she says is that what she had told me was she was kidnapped by this cult. Mm-hmm. And she was there for years, and her family didn't try to look for her. And she just showed up at home like 2 years later and went walking in, and her mom was basically like, go clean your room. Like she had never been gone. But while she was gone, because of the things that she witnessed at this cult, because of the horrific treatment, they intentionally designed this DID system so that she would be able to cope. And so because of the abuse they did to animals within this cult and I guess sacrifices, some of her alters don't like cats or aren't comfortable with animals because of that reason. But then, so I talked about the cult in my video, and then she's saying that there was never a cult. And what she told Kat was there was this house behind her school, her elementary school, and her and some of the other kids would sneak out through a hole in the fence and go hang out the house for a while. So if that is the case, if there was no cult, then her whole claim about how the DID started, this intentionally designed system, is all null and void because the cult didn't exist.
Yeah. You know what's cool is Mugnuts was at the stream, and he's at this stream, and he's reading all the body language. And
yeah, no, I saw that, and that's awesome because it's unfortunate that the chat no longer exists because Mugnuts was there killing it the entire time.
She does put up a few of Mugnuts' comments.
She does later on. She starts showing, and because she's unclear of what they are, of what the comments are. At first, she thinks he's just some troll, but when he was reading what was going on and asking her questions about it, and it gets really interesting. And at one point, she starts to cry because of the line of questioning, and then it's pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
Clawbah, I only have a few more minutes.
Oh, that's fine. We can do this.
Yeah,
we can do this in. We'll do part 2 because we've been on for a couple hours now. So
yeah, I want to do it this week if possible.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah,
I need a break from the editing the interviews down from the 8.5 or whatever hours it is right now.
Okay, well, I think we can. I think the next part will pretty much be the Mugnuts section. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. So obviously, if you're not subscribed to my man,
keep going, dude. I want to keep going.
Okay, all right. I thought you were giving me the.
No, I said I have a few more minutes,
right,
and you're like trying to end it all. They're like, come on, man.
Hey, man, I'm a professional broadcaster. When I hear that, I think it's wrap up Clawbah time.
Oh no! Let's not wrap up yet. Let's do 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, I wish that I could have a better way to talk about this as well. So I went to the doctor.
So Ree goes for it here.
Yeah.
Because Ree's tired of the bullshit and Ree's tired of dancing around questions. Ree wants to know right now, do you have EDS? And EDS is how she met Ree, and the story is very similar, again, where she will find these people on Twitter or she will find them in some sort of support group on Discord or somewhere. And she will blend in and say that she has these things, and she will start standing for this person, or where she's liking everything and she's retweeting everything. And then when you start communicating, it's almost like you kind of know this person a little bit. And when they tell you they have EDS, why would you not believe it?
Right.
And so Ree wanted to know. And this might be where Ree ends up getting blocked. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. And again, EDS, that's something that you could have, and you could have a very mild form of it.
Yeah, you could have a very mild form, like the people that you see on the Las Vegas Strip who contortion artists who can get into a box and stuff. They're said to all have like some form of EDS. And it could be as simple as just being double jointed.
Yeah.
And when she would show me her EDS, she would kind of bend her finger back and go, "See, but I can do the same thing with my finger."
I can do that with my thumb.
I've seen you do it with your thumb on your OnlyFans.
Yeah, yes, that's how I get most of my money, actually.
That is it goes places. So,
it does.
In November of 2019, I don't think that it might still be in my phone. Actually, hold up.
This is one of my favorite parts right here.
Yes.
She goes into her
phone.
phone.
The doctor in November of 2019, and I saw a geneticist. The geneticist was the one that confirmed the diagnosis of EDS. So
point, set, match.
Pull up the calendar.
Yeah, pull
Hey,
up.
I've got the worst news in the world for you, dude. I'm actually gonna do that, like, as a job. So your worst nightmare is coming through. Your worst nightmare, dude.
No, you're not.
Yeah, she'd have to graduate and get a job, and that's just not going to happen.
Well, so, maybe she considers cam work helping people.
That's true. You are helping some people.
Yeah, very specific people for very specific things.
So right now she's looking for this proof, and I've seen her use these types of things before, where she'll call something she wrote down several months or years ago proof of something happening. Mm-hmm. And this is insane. It's like me going and adding something to Wikipedia and then using it as a source in a research paper.
Yeah, right. This is where she pulls up something that she wrote on a calendar, and that's like she's using this as proof. This is Tiffany's favorite part.
The beautiful part about it is that, like I say, when puzzle pieces come together, I actually have interviewed the person she lived with during this November 2019 appointment that she went to. I got the full story on it. So her claim here, what's great is I get to use this in my video to talk about what actually happened at that appointment and why they were there. Because it was not to get a diagnosis for EDS. And it sounds to me like it was more one of those things where it was like, I don't know, it could be EDS. Bing, 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 bing. I got EDS.
Yeah. And James here, Ree's husband, yeah, I was fucking done at this point. My EDS has put me in the hospice. And she would do these things where, well, if you're, I know your EDS is bad, but it can't possibly be worse than mine. Whatever you're going through.
Yeah, like when she was living with Kat, and Kat tells this really sad story of like her shoulders dislocated. She can't move because any movement just is agonizing. And Muse actually has to dial the phone for her and put it up to her face so she can talk to her dad. And the whole time, Muse is talking about like her elbow being dislocated or her wrist, and she's kind of flopping her hands around.
Eurofission just donated and said, "Hey Wes, stay strong. You have a whole community behind you."
Thank you, Eurofission. I'm sorry I talked over that. My bad.
That's all right.
It's gotten to the point where this shit is laughable. It used to be unbearably painful, but now you guys are just so.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but not for her. Like for
ridiculous
for people who really have it. So there's
our proof.
Here's your favorite part, Tiffany.
There's the proof right there.
Yeah.
I like that it's like a Mentos commercial. Like she holds up the phone like she just ta-da!
Yeah.
But all that shows is that she wasted someone's time back in 2019 at 10 a.m. at 1959 Northeast Pacific Street. And I know whose time was wasted. It was the roommate, the nice guy who drove her there, because she claimed. And what it was is she was there, I believe that was trying to get an autism diagnosis. Whatever she was there for, she did not get the diagnosis she was hoping for. But while there, she was showing the person, because it was this. He said everyone there had like Down syndrome, like a pretty severe. They were all there for a very particular reason. And then she's sitting there playing on her phone, trying to get a diagnosis. And when they left, she's like, "Well, I didn't have." What I wanted. She's like, but I showed him I showed him this, and he said I might have EDS. And that's when EDS was added to her so far I have list. And that is the same roommate who saved that screenshot because he knew this is off. Something's wrong here. This isn't normal. So people, even back then, there are people who have sent me Post-it notes from when she was on Dee Dee's live streams talking about all of her ailments, and they were writing all of them down on a Post-it note because it just sounded so off to them. And they're sending me shots of these because even back in December, November, October, people knew that she was off, but the puzzle just hadn't been put together yet.
Yeah. Well, how dare you question question her calendar?
You
Tiffany
can't question the calendar.
Who are you, Tiffany Lockheart?
And also she could have, like, for all we knew, she could have been typing that in while supposedly looking for it,
right?
Because it is just a calendar entry. But I'm sure it was there because those are the things she uses as references for herself.
Yeah, and Mugnuts brought up the point. It's like she had that, like, that's the one thing that she seemed to have. Like, she was ready for this one. Like she was just waiting to drop, to show this. Like this didn't take any searching in her phone at all. It was that this was at the ready, and I don't know what she thought like this proved. Like
it's just like the problem list that she created in her.
It's not even that. It's just it's an appointment to add to the problem. It's not even a problem list. It's all it is it's an appointment.
Right. It's something that she created.
Right.
Yeah.
She put in there. Yeah. It's not, and who cares if there's if you have an appointment or write down what you believe that your problems are or your symptoms. They have to be verified by the doctor through a diagnosis. And if that doesn't happen, then how is that any proof?
Exactly.
But it has a time on it, Tiffany.
That's true, Tiffany.
That is true. It does have a time.
It's time stamped.
10 a.m.
So.
Right.
who are you to question that?
But look where it's put.
Yeah, I just thought of that. Why is it at 4 p.m.?
That's a good. That is a good question.
All right, Clawbah, I gotta wrap up here.
All right, man. So if you're not, again, of course, I'm sure everybody who is listening to this is subscribed to Wes, but if you're not, make sure you subscribe to Wes. There's going to be more to the Muse story. We're going to finish this stream up. We'll get to the Mugnut stuff. Tiffany Lockhart's got a channel. God bless Tiffany Lockhart. So if you're not subscribed to Miss Lockhart, if you want to know who is she, hon, subscribe to Tiffany Lockhart's channel.
Every couple of months, there's a video that's put up.
Yeah, that's right.
A couple months. She's in more of my videos than she is videos on her own channel.
That is true.
That is true.
She's a perfectionist.
That's right.
So, and then also I want to mention again, Allie the Alien has a store where she is donating to cystic fibrosis, and like a lot of great stuff on there. And I'll put the link to Wes's channel, to Tiffany's channel, and to Allie the Alien's store once this publishes. So, any final thoughts, guys?
No, I'm excited to do this again later in the week. And,
yeah, me too.
And get further into this, because it just gets crazier as it goes on. It gets way funnier.
Yeah. This was pretty funny so far, but it gets once Mugnuts gets involved in this, it gets even more entertaining.
Mugnuts is in there just causing problems. And,
but asking very legitimate questions. But in her head, it's problems.
Well, it's problems because he's asking questions that prove she's lying.
Right.
She didn't want that to happen. So it was wrong of Mugnuts to come in there and prove that she was a liar in her mind. That's just adding to the hate mob.
Oh, I want to throw a shout out. Hillbilly Hellride also did a stream about this. So if you haven't checked out, that was
funny stuff too.
That was really good. So check out Hillbilly Hellride's stream. He did about a week ago, I think, about this.
Yeah, I believe it was about a week ago.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. So Tiffany, anything final to say?
No, I'm looking forward to it as well. I wasn't able to hang for the whole thing, so
yeah,
I look forward to whatever other non-evidence.
Yeah, well, I think
very confidently and smugly.
I think at this point you hadn't gotten blocked yet, so you'll get to see the rest of it at the time where you did get blocked.
I don't think I ever got blocked.
Oh,
no,
you just left.
She just probably took a nap.
You just had enough.
That's right. If it's my nap time, nothing gets in the way of that.
That's it. Nothing. She had the face mask on and everything.
That's right. That's right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again for coming out. Thank you to everybody who donated. I will talk to all of you later this week.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye, my precious princesses.